2 layers on right now, so you can't see my hips.
No, it's because it's 90 degrees in here.
No.
Because tissue paper skin over here has got to have it all. We're under these lights.
I have not done anything.
No, someone
with
took
the
my
thermostat.
sign down, and it's been warmer in here lately.
This isn't tissue paper's fault.
I know.
Tissue paper has nothing to do with the temperature in here.
When I come in here in the morning, between Corey and Jason, and I know Jason's from Florida, and maybe he'll get used to it up here.
Yeah.
It's like 90 degrees in here. Corey Roddick is like 75 pounds, so I'm sure he gets cold real easily. But when I come here in the morning,
Jason's thin too.
My God, it's like hot as balls in here.
Well, there's a banana tree in the corner that they're trying to get going.
Good,
so.
because they're going extinct, and this might be the last of its kind.
Ring, 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 banana tree.
Something. So I turn it down to 70 in the morning.
I don't touch the thermostats anywhere. I bring sweaters in here in case I need, and I have like, an extra little blanket in case I need something. But I let you guys deal with the lights and the temperature.
Well, I think that Bill's note was frowned upon at some point because he put up there. Well, he's like, don't touch the.
Well, because it's easier to put on a hoodie.
We're not the only people who use this room. Was the point?
Right, but we are the most people that use this room. So when we're in here, the temperature goes up faster than if you're in here by yourself.
Well, why don't you just...
Oh, you're leaning on the body temperature argument.
But why don't you just come in here half an hour before the show and adjust the temperature you'd like it to be?
Because
and then
that
when
would
we get
require me to remember to do that, Erica, and I don't want to have to do that.
But I already do that in the morning.
Yeah. So
it seems easier than putting a passive aggressive note up or something.
People
passive
it wasn't
aggressive.
passive aggressive.
It was aggressive.
I understand.
It was intentionally aggressive.
I think all notes left
Nothing
somewhere
passive
are
about it.
passive aggressive because it means you don't want to tell someone to their face. You just want to leave a note.
Well, because I'm not here to tell them to their face.
There's a lot of, like I said, a lot of different people coming in and out. It's easier, That said, I understand where they were coming from. They're like, well, you guys are the only.
You don't get to pick the temperature.
Right. So
but I'm also a believer in if you touch something, put it back the way you found it.
I turn it down.
Yeah, and people wrote on this board today, and it stained the board.
I saw that, and I was like, because it was over here, and I go, oh boy, wait till Erica finds out somebody used her whiteboard.
It's pink. It's mine. I don't write on other people's crap.
You're right, 402. That one's going to keep on giving, too. Okay. Here you go.
Bill, don't die. It's not that funny.
Good thing he's wearing his tuxedo. He might die. Quick, go get his tails, Poundcake.
That one just hit me real good.
Mm-hmm.
I really like that one.
But I'm pissed.
Yeah, I saw that because...
It's
all stained now. And you know how whiteboards are. It's like...
They're white.
If you leave the black ink on for too long, it ain't never coming clean.
Right.
If it hasn't turned red or puffed up, I probably don't need a shot.
Mm-hmm. Now I gotta figure out which one to
Get
replace.
your own whiteboard, other people.
Yeah.
No, I really don't care that much, but it did annoy me kind of.
Well, I didn't...
And I don't have an eraser, so I just have to wipe it with my hand.
I didn't...
Use paper towels.
Yeah, paper towels. I didn't erase it. I left it specifically for you to find.
Yeah, I mean, whatever.
Hey, man, we're all just trying to coexist here. You know what I mean?
I don't use other people's stuff.
We're all trying to coexist.
I don't use people's personal belongings in this building.
Maybe you should start. What's good for the goose is always good for the gander. Oh, Shayla.
I'm just going to start writing on people's notebooks and like in their whiteboards in their offices.
Just right.
Erica was here.
Love
W-A-Z.
Erica. Yeah.
Have a kick-ass summer. H-A-K-A-S
Never change.
or whatever. Yeah.
Alan, you can only imagine what I see on a daily basis. I work as a mortician's assistant in the state of California.
Ooh.
And I do extractions on pretty much everyone who dies in Siskiyou County.
Ugh.
All right.
You don't want to hear extraction. I don't want to be extracted from anywhere. You know what I mean?
Extracted.
Yeah.
Like the people who start to grow into the furniture.
Yeah,
No.
fuses.
You got to be there
Skin.
a long time for that, though.
That's bad.
I hope I'm found very quickly and clothed.
Alan, I don't remember which comedian said it, but whatever outfit you die in is your forever ghost outfit. I truly think about this. There you go.
That's amazing.
That's what you're in for the rest of eternity.
Yeah.
So that's why they say I wouldn't be caught dead in that, because that'd be the
Right, that's what you wear in your
that's
coffin.
it.
That's precisely why.
I wouldn't be caught dead in that.
But that's the coffin. But I mean, it's funny to think about the ghost is wearing the clothes that they died in.
Or think about the modern things, like, you got a long. Remember when like long tees were in, like when t-shirts would go down to like your kneecaps? People would be wearing long tees and baggy pants, or people who used to wear their pants backwards. Now
those long tees make you look like a ghost.
Sure.
I think it's Dimitri Martin.
Okay. That sounds like a Dimitri Martin joke.
Yeah. We listened to him the last time I went to Chicago to a family wedding. We listened to like all his stuff
He's
on the way
hilarious.
there.
Yeah, he's very funny.
So funny.
Yeah.
Or
Kind of off the beaten path, but very funny.
Or if you're at the bunny ranch and one of the prostitutes dies, if they're in like a little G-string or something, they got to walk around as eternity in like a little G-string with the little nipple stickers on.
But they were a stripper, so they're comfortable in that.
But forever though, they don't get cold. Like ghosts don't get cold.
I don't think ghosts get cold.
I don't think. No, because cold implies that your body's not keeping you warm enough, and ghosts are dead. So no, they're not getting cold.
If you're walking down the hallways of the bunny ranch, you can see like at the end of the hallway, like The Shining, you just see like a prostitute with nipple stickers, nipple tassels just swinging, ooh, and then they disappear.
Casper was naked.
Yeah,
You know?
that's why he was so friendly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He didn't seem cold.
Okay.
The Akron Fright Fest is in a lot of trouble.
Uh-oh.
I guess they fired a couple of the actors there because a couple said that they were part of the haunted house was a mock rape.
Really?
2 words you never want to hear in conjunction with a haunted house: mock or rape. Yeah.
Out of a couple of scares, what he got was an actor who threw him on top of a bed, held him down, and started thrusting on top of him.
All right. Anywho, you certainly don't want to be. This is we were talking about that haunted house in San Diego. They're getting more interactive. They're getting more like you sign a waiver and they throw you in a box. And
that
some
what
of these
this
places,
place is like?
I guess, said that they fired a couple of the actors associated with it because a woman complained that she was being held down. They grabbed her ankles and pulled her legs apart.
Damn. That's messed up.
That is messed up. That is messed up. Yeah.
And how do they not in this climate
that
we're in?
That's where you got to really have all your ducks in a row if you're going to do, they call these mature haunted houses. These are not for kids.
There's more than one climate change.
Radio's dirty little secret. And it's all illegal.
Are you ready for showtime?
Break down, baby.
Who the hell is this?
Alan, you have been described by your enemies as evil, insane, manipulative. Who are you?
To examine it would be to demystify it.
Hey, yo, get a ticket with a tasty groove, okay?
Wow.
It definitely makes me cringe.
Very, very, very painful.
1, 2, 3, pick it. Pick it, come on. God damn it, put you one time, pick it. What the
You're disgusting.
It's showtime!
It's the Alan Cox Show on 100.7
You ignorant trick bastard.
WMMS. Cleveland.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Good afternoon. Hi there. Greetings and high fives and fist bumps all the way around. Hello, hello. My name is Alan Cox. Thanks for showing up. Say hi to Bill Squire, who's right over there.
Hey, creepy hugs, everyone. Thanks for listening and watching this episode of the Alan Cox Show titled Band of Bothers. And Grandma says hi, of course.
Hello, Grandma.
And Rip Stan Lee.
Yeah, Stan Lee died. 95.
I'm going to miss that old man.
Said Jason Mewes is going to be here on Wednesday. We'll talk to him about Stan Lee.
Huh.
Yeah.
I understand they've met a couple of times. Stan Lee said he just couldn't take it anymore.
Oh, yeah? Suicide?
Not saying that.
Huh.
Wasn't he engaged in some whole elder abuse thing with like his family or There were lawsuits being filed that people around him were taking advantage of him and not taking care of him.
I have no idea.
I heard that.
It's been a rough last couple of years for that guy, if that's true. Erica Lauren is right over there.
Had you wave, everybody. Happy Monday.
It is a Monday. Be it ever so humble. Poundcake is back behind the glass.
Afternoon, white people.
Greet him as you would a long-lost friend. If you'd like to join us telephonically, please do. 216-578-1007 or 800-348-1007. 35192, the number to text me. I will see all of them, even if I don't respond to each and every one.
That seems like a lot of work.
It is a lot of work. And AlanCockShow.com for all the other stuff. But we got our Christie's Instagram hotties up there. The clip from Saturday Night Live. Saturday night where they brought that eye patch congressman on. Have Pete Davidson apologize to him. That was a funny bit. And a brand new Poundcake column is up there, too. It's called A Means to an End. If you'd like to read that, feel free. I have my own thoughts on it.
I have my thoughts on it. I think Erica's got thoughts on it.
Yeah, I've got a few thoughts.
Yeah.
And I did clean this one up. He sent it to me via an email, and I copied and pasted into our web format, and I went through and I did clean it up.
I did find one typo, but...
Which was that?
There was like just a run-on sentence in the beginning. First paragraph.
Oh, I don't even bother with run-ons. They're all run-on sentences.
Not a run-on sentence, just like a sentence that's missing a word or something.
Yeah,
or like
I don't
the
even bother with
sentence
those.
structure was weird.
I'm looking strictly for unless it's an egregious affront to the English language.
I don't think so.
Which I didn't find.
It wasn't that noticeable.
But you I was surprised. How do you spell dues?
I did. I had a brain fart. But
How'd you write it?
It was a brain fart.
After you're done paying your dues, DOS.
Yeah, I did. It was stupid. Yeah.
If you're done paying your DOS.
No, yeah.
For those of us who remember DOS.
DUES.
So I cleaned that up. But
yeah, that was my bad.
It's up there, and it's what did I tell you last time?
I don't remember.
We can tell.
Great. It's a great start. That's a great start. I said that you need a much broader array of interests. Is what you need. Do you remember me saying that?
Yeah, I remember you saying that.
Okay.
Well,
that's my one criticism. You need a much broader array of interests.
My one criticism, and I kind of told you, these columns have taken quite a somber tone and seem to be a bit, kind of woe is me.
But I did want to write about what I know, and I do. And
True.
Part of it was because a lot of people hit me up. On one end, they're like, "Oh my gosh, you've made it. You're in professional radio. You must be making a crap ton of money." And I'm just flabbergasted.
I just can't believe people still say that to you.
That's why
Why would anyone say that?
I don't
People
understand
don't even say that to me.
No. Why would anyone say that?
But these are also college students looking from the outside in. So
but what are they? Okay. First of all, I didn't get a somber tone from it. I wouldn't say that.
Well, I felt bad, I guess.
I didn't feel bad. I mean, they're just diary entries.
That's exactly what they are. They're diary entries, not an article.
Not like a column.
No.
Yeah.
And then on the other end, I get shamed for, oh my God, I can't believe you work, 3 jobs just to pay for one job. I'm like, well, this is my career. Like, I'm gonna.
Who shames you? Most people are working more than one job.
Not in my friend group.
Well, your friend group are like trust fund kids, aren't they?
I just have one trust fund kid. But,
Okay.
But
I don't have any. So, I mean,
So I'm just saying, some people just shame me because they don't get it. I'm like, look, I work in a very creative industry, so any job
allegedly. Do you tell them?
People are shaming you for
otherwise.
working hard. Like, what is that?
They don't get it. They're like, why are you working 3 jobs? You have a bachelor's degree.
What
like,
do your friends do?
I have friends that are nurses. I have friends that are engineers. I have friends, accountants, bankers.
Right. So they got jobs directly related to what they studied. They went to nursing school to become a nurse.
Yes, I'm the black sheep. So I'm the only one that.
Literally.
Yeah.
But how do they not understand that this radio is not a direct path to fame and fortune?
Most things aren't.
Because they thought that same thing I thought when I first started. Oh, you're on the show now full time? Contract. Here's your contract.
But why would they think that?
Why would you think that?
Because I was naive, and so are they. And And when someone
well, anyway, that's reading a lot into. I mean, whatever. I don't know what that has to do with the column you would write, but I mean,
I was just putting some clarity to what people would think about it, misconceptions.
But you've already told your friend, you've already corrected your friends on the misconceptions.
Yes, but
anybody reading a column that you write. Yeah,
college students might go to it. People who might be interested in media might go into it, and it's not just for anybody in media. It could be if they want to be an actor, singer, artist, whatever.
Okay.
I'm just shining some clarity on. If you go into any type of creative endeavor,
it's always good to shine some clarity on it.
Put some clarity on it.
I will say I thought it was pretty well written. I thought it was written better than the last one.
I agree. It was. Mm-hmm. The more you do something, better you get. Sure.
Mm-hmm.
But it's up there if you'd like to read it. If you are in, what businesses would people enjoy this if they were in to read?
A creative endeavor.
Creative endeavor.
I like it.
Right.
And I also have a friend. You're saying, broaden my horizons. I'm doing.
I mean, you are your favorite subject, is all I'm saying.
I am, but
you gotta. I mean,
because these are very much like diary entries.
And
this is not. This isn't an article. This is one. I don't think what we had in mind when.
But also, you guys did not.
This to you.
You guys did not give me a topic.
I didn't have anything. I'm not giving you a topic.
But I want you. But
if you had broader, what I'm saying is, if you're telling me, give me a topic, or I'm going to write about myself, that's not anything anybody's going to want to read. They want to get Poundcake's perspective on something.
But also, I don't.
And these are stories you've told on the air.
Mm-hmm.
Not everything, but I want something to research. Then, if that's the case.
Well, there's.
All right, I would like you to write next week's column on the first 3 months of the Peloponnesian War.
Okay.
It's a deep dive.
How's that?
Write what you know.
Right?
He knows that inside and out.
That's right.
Yeah, it should be interesting.
Well, it was better written.
It was.
I'll say that.
I thought it was very well written.
And it's at the website if you'd like to read it. But I want to make sure that you knew how to spell dues.
Yes, that was my mistake. I had a brain fart. It was late at night, so.
Right.
He has a to-do list, DUE, at home.
Here's what I need to DUE before I go on vacation. Yeah. Yeah, okay.
I am starting the Stonewall Dodgeball League, though. So
I thought that already existed.
He's going to join
starting it, is what I'm saying.
You're starting what? Oh, you're starting to play for it.
Yes.
I
will sign up. It starts in early December, and my friend runs it, so.
Okay.
I'm going to do that. So
well, there's that.
Broaden my horizons.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to DUE that? I'm sorry. I'll stop.
In the words, I like this line. In the words of one of my favorite radio personalities, Charlemagne Tha God, people don't recognize a great opportunity unless there's a paycheck attached to it. Mind you, does not remember what I told him 2 weeks ago with respect to his column. But okay, got it, understood. So from now on, I'd like all of you to call me Alan Tha God. All right, Bill? Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that.
Yes. Tha God.
Yeah. All right. Hey, Candlebox. Remember them? They're on the road. 25th anniversary tour. It will get them to the Roxino in February if you want to check out Candlebox. I believe Craig Ferguson is going to check in today. He is doing the Agora next Thursday night on his tour, so we'll have him on the phone around 4 o'clock. 35192 if you want to text or find us at AlanCockShow.com.
The Alan Cox Show on 100.7 WMMS. And everywhere you go on our free iHeartRadio app.
Yes.
Yeah, nose is sweat.
Yeah, everything sweats.
My nose isn't sweat.
That's what the greasy is.
No, the greasy is oils.
Well, it's all mixed
it's
in
all
there.
the same.
It's all...
No, sweat and oil are not the same.
No, they're not. But
you get oils on your face. You sweat like.
Maybe your nose can't sweat. You probably don't have sweat glands. You know.
No, I think you have sweat.
So.
I feel like I've gotten
a sweaty
nose.
I
feel like around it gets like
because my glasses
greasy.
they get sweaty.
Yeah.
No, I think Erica's right. I think you get greasy on your nose, but you get sweaty up top.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's all gross.
Sweat is salty.
Lick my nose, Erica. See if it's sweaty.
Never. Not one time will I.
What would it cost?
Yeah.
What's your price?
Never.
$100. You're eating my saliva. $25 to lick his nose. No, thank you. I don't know where that's been.
No, you do not.
Oh God.
I'll lick his nose for $25.
In other people's business.
Don't lick his nose.
$25.
Poundcake really wants his nose licked.
Tomorrow on the show, Bill will lick Poundcake's
Okay,
nose
done.
for $25.
It's a good nose.
Yeah.
Who's ponying up the $25?
I'll bring in 5 at least.
5 at least.
Whatever I got in my purse.
I'll bring up 5 at least.
Whatever I have in my purse.
I got my Venmo.
Is it just gonna be like a little lick
Venmo
tap,
for the Poundcake nose lick.
or is it gonna be like a long like? Which
I'll
one is
make
it gonna
contact. How about that?
They were licking
No,
people's
it can't just
faces
be
on
like
it.
I mean, I'll get on there. You'll know that your nose has been licked. You'll definitely need a wipe off afterwards.
And then you'll know if it's salty or not.
You need to lick it like a popsicle. Up.
Now, the one thing I ask is that you don't shower tomorrow morning.
Why do we wait until tomorrow? Why can't we just do it now?
Whatever you want to do, you're licking.
I don't.
I just gotta get the money. I just need the $25. Once I get the $25, I'll lick.
We'll make it an event.
Why so low? $25?
I said 100, man.
Because it's not that big of a deal. It's a face. You look.
You say that now.
Yeah.
You're over there
You
licking
lick it.
faces.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal
Yeah,
to
but
you.
then once I'm
it
licking
tastes like
faces making
bell pepper?
$25 a lick, then who's gonna be laughing?
Once word gets around, hey, if you get that guy $25, he'll lick your face.
Oh, he's got a side business.
That's right.
He's gonna open up an Etsy shop.
Never stop hustling.
Always be licking.
Yeah.
Have a roadside stand.
Have you seen the comedian who gets paid to lick people? He's hilarious.
It's your new bit. The end of your gigs. You just say, who would like a nose lick?
Yeah.
$25 a head. A
Oh,
nose.
Lickin' Bill Squire is back.
Hey, that's 100% profit. Do you have merch? You got to get the shirts made. You got to get CDs printed, all that stuff. If I'm licking noses, that's all.
It's all money in your pocket.
Profit.
I think you're underestimating how disgusting people are.
Yeah.
And you know how disgusting
I know how
people
disgusting
are.
What if it's
people
like
are.
a pimply nose?
Oh, maybe
Or
there's
there's
gonna
a
be
wart.
maybe there's gonna be like a sliding scale.
There'll be tears, you
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
There'll be
Would
tears.
you lick
all right.
Stripper Scott's nose?
Ooh.
He's probably
gonna
motorboated
be-
some boobs, so you.
Yeah, but there's not transitive property of boobs.
Yeah, he doesn't get Poundcake. You know nothing about breasts. He
I don't get to. There's no. Yeah, that's not. That's
Probably
not-
smells perfumey
Even
or
if
something.
he had like that's that's not a way.
But even
to
if
think
it
of
smelled
But
perfumey, it wouldn't
give me
taste it, you know, you don't
$100 I'll lick Scott. I'll get in there.
$100.
Yeah.
Oh, 100.
Wow.
So the price goes up for a Stripper Scott.
Yeah.
What if our sales head over here, George Allen, came in and wanted his nose licked? Would you lick him?
Ooh, George. I feel like he's a
Interesting
clean guy.
grab.
I'm gonna
Out
go-
of all the people
Well, I'm
back
just curious,
there.
like what his prices would be for various people.
Oh, you're trying,
George-
you're trying to find a midpoint.
George
Yeah.
Allen's nose would go for about. I'm gonna give him $15.50.
50 cents.
50.
Oh Lord! Watch him walk in here with $15.50.
Plunk it down like Kramer. Yeah. I'm out.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, we'll see. Maybe got a side gig.
Bill Squire, the nose licker.
I could have some money for you tomorrow to lick. I don't want to front all $25 because I'm not that invested.
Okay.
But I do want to see you.
It's
lick
got to
some-
be 25. Once I get 25,
gotta be
I'll lick
25.
it. Yeah.
I have a hard time understanding what not to lick.
Honestly, it's gonna be worse for Poundcake than it is for me.
You're gonna make it big and sloppy, like a.
Yeah, having somebody's tongue on your face.
Yeah.
I've had worse.
They were licking faces at Blood Prison. That was part of the touch pass.
Ew.
A lady came out. She's like, they pushed me in a cell and licked my face. I was like, Jesus Christ. I didn't know it was a touch with your tongue pass.
It needs to be like a slow lick up the bridge of his nose.
As long as I can worse afterwards, I'm fine.
Erica's got a very specific vision for this
well,
whole
if you
situation.
just do like you're licking a frozen, like an icy pole, like in that doesn't sound
Christmas
good.
Story?
In A Christmas Story, like the
No, it has
and
to be.
barely
It
touch
has
it.
to be full tongue contact with the nose.
Yes.
Up the nostril.
Ew.
554. Doesn't matter when we do it. You're licking.
Who said that?
What do you think?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh. Doesn't matter when we do it. You're licking.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. There you go.
I don't know if I have room for that. I've got a lot of
You gotta
already.
get rid of some.
Yeah.
If it hasn't turned red or puffed up, I probably don't need a shot.
Yeah.
Do you need to keep that one?
Nah, I already blew one out today.
Do sniff it sometimes.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll figure it out. That's for another time.
Yeah.
We have a lot of sniff-centric ones. You have come in here any time of day and smell it. You have that sniff one you just
No,
played.
don't have. I've rotated that one out.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Well, rip.
Rip, smell it, drop. Mm-hmm. All right, Candlebox is on their 25th anniversary tour. Rock and Still Rollin', I believe is what it's called. They're going to play the Hard Rock Rocksino out in Northfield Park on Sunday night, February the 17th, if you want to see them. Ticketmaster.com will have all the pertinent details. This pair of tickets for you if you are caller 13. Good luck. 2 for Candlebox in 2019. 216-578-1007 or 800-348-1007.
As soon as I can learn how to run a computer, I am starting an online petition to have Alan Cox taken off the air. So help me God, I'm having him taken off the air.
The Alan Cox Show
on 100.7
WMMS.
$35192 if you want to give me a text, AlanCoxShow.com. The live video stream is there. You can share and subscribe and like and comment in the chat room if you're so inclined. A couple people texting me that they'd like to see a bit more diversity in the Instagram hotties, Bill. I've seen you pull from all walks of life.
There's a lot of
for the Instagram
black girls
hotties.
and Latinas. I don't know.
I would dig through there if you're
there's
tired of seeing white girls.
There's a couple black girls in this one. I don't know. And I'm just trying to find hot girls.
That's right.
You want ugly girls? I got ugly girls.
We don't care what color they are,
yeah.
As long as they're foxy.
Mm-hmm.
Craig Ferguson will join us around 4 o'clock this afternoon. Not sure where he'll be calling from. He was going to be here on Friday. Took ill. Joe Perry was also supposed to be on the show on Friday, and he got hospitalized over the weekend.
Really?
Yeah, he passed out. He went up to do Walk This Way at Billy Joel's Madison Square Garden residency. You know, he does a show a month, I think, and he has friends come up. People were blowing me up. I think it was Saturday night. Joe Perry walked off stage and collapsed, and they had to give him oxygen and take him to the hospital.
Oh,
and
wow.
He was set to do that rock and roll fantasy camp where you go out and you play with heavy-duty musicians. And so he's got to skip that. But he was going to be here on Friday to talk about the new album and all that, and he's in the hospital. So get well, Joe Perry.
Him, yeah.
That's
Cat's not even 70 years old yet. What's that?
Ironic song.
Walk This Way?
Yeah. They have a problem walking.
Alan, Erica, and Bill are buttholes to Poundcake. You are at best a taint.
I'm not being a butthole. I didn't say it was a bad article.
People
I'm just
are
saying
protective of
it's not
Poundcake.
what we're expecting. It's very much a diary entry. It's not bad.
Well, I also get it, but like I do want to like broaden my horizons, but it's hard to do that in a week. Like
no, but you don't even have to broaden your horizons. I just think that the style of article that you're writing is very different than
what you
put off. Yeah, like I would think you'd want to write something kind of funny, maybe about pop culture, especially with how much you like. I mean, every day when you get here, you watch video, or during the show, you watch videos about celebrity gossip and stuff like that. So I thought you would take more of a tone in that sort of way rather than, hey, I'm Poundcake. I'm out here grinding. I'm grinding it.
Grinding. Right.
Okay. Well,
again, I'm not. I'm just saying.
I think because he didn't have a direction,
expectations-
he just wrote about things that were on his mind.
Right.
You know, and in defense of that, you know.
And my expectations are what has made it so not disappointing, but just kind of underwhelmed by it, because I'm like, we also have heard all your stories like this a million times.
And I'm not. This is, by the way, this is not an assignment. Mm-hmm. So I'm not giving you something to write about the next week. So if there's nothing on your brain that interests you, then we won't.
Just be honest.
We won't do them. That's okay.
Well,
I want to see what you had in you. If you don't have anything in you, we won't do a column.
Okay. Well,
it's not the end of the world.
Well, I'll wait till I can bring something to the table where I think would be of quality, because it's just like I can understand if I was writing a column, we are a rock station. If I had to do some research on some type of rock star or like the history of rock or something like that, I understand that.
But we're a talk show. It doesn't matter what kind of station we're a talk show. Okay. So we talk about everything.
Yeah. I'm just surprised that he hasn't done a column like what celebrity couple marriages he supports versus ones he doesn't.
Because you guys wouldn't like that.
Don't write for us, write for you.
Write for yourself, write what you know.
And your point of view on that stuff is funny. So even if we say we don't like it, you still have funny ideas and the reasons you don't like those couples together and the reasons you do like certain couples. That stuff's really funny coming from your mind.
Exactly.
Okay. I figured you would want the column a bit different because I'm
No, it needs to be in your voice. If you're trying to write as something else, then that's not going to work.
It was going to be me.
It'd be like you writing about pillows that say breathe on it. That's my territory.
Go ahead and cancel that idea.
Stop confusing me, damn it! Okay.
For the record, my pillow says hustle till Santa comes now. So.
Okay.
The breathe pillow.
I'll file that in the official records.
That's right.
That's right.
Oh, good for you.
Make sure that's in the minutes for this week's meetings.
Town hall.
That's right. Write about celebrities losing their homes to the wildfire. Miley Cyrus's house burned down. Neil Young, a couple days before his birthday, just got married to Daryl.
Which ones do you feel most sorry for?
Just got married to Daryl Hannah. Gerard Butler's house burned down. The Kardashians had to leave. Lady Gaga had to leave her house.
Jeffree Star had to leave his house.
And these are just celebrities. These are the people who can afford to build a new house.
I think
most people can't afford to build a new house.
Well, don't most of these people have insurance? Don't they put them up somewhere else?
Or 3 or 4 other homes.
You have to have insurance to own a home.
Well, I'm just saying, this is like Calabasas. It's not like any type of it's not a poor area. No one there doesn't have.
No, but I'm talking about people that were Northern California where the entire town was wiped out.
Paradise,
yeah, those people, where the hell are they going to go?
True. And where are these people going in the meantime?
Friends' houses and...
Charlie Sheen was tweeting that he couldn't get a hold of his dad. Next thing you know, Martin Sheen's on local LA television saying, we're okay, we just had to leave our house.
Yeah.
We're not sure if it's going to be there when we get back.
Yeah, you could put out an article saying that if your house burned down and you're a celebrity, come stay at Gay Bay for a little bit.
I saw that Airbnb...
There's no fires happening here.
I saw people who own Airbnbs were offering free stays to people that had to escape. So that's kind of nice.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. If these people are going to hotels, they're all going to be pretty booked. And I have friends that live in WeHo, and I'm like, you're just casually going to the store shopping when there's a fire over the mountain.
Well,
from
what are they
where
supposed
you
to
live.
do?
I would leave too. You don't know how far it's going to reach. I don't understand how.
Well, they tell you when you're in an evacuation
zone. They give you
you
definitely some warning.
I don't think I'd want to breathe in all that smoke, but I wouldn't get out of town if I didn't have to.
That is one of the things too. If you're trying to get out of town, you're going to get stuck on the freeway anyway. That's one thing that has been very clear over the years, that when people need to evacuate, our infrastructure is not set up for mass evacuation.
That's why people died in their car. There were people that they found some 20-something people in their cars dead.
I can't stop watching these videos of people driving through this.
It looks like hell.
I know.
It looks like hell.
I saw the one of the dad singing to his daughter that everything was going to be okay, and they're driving through freaking firewalls.
Like
and
the road is the only thing not on fire.
Yes.
Did they make it through?
We're not going to catch on fire,
this
okay?
is him, yeah.
We're going to stay away from it. And we'll be just fine. Okay? We're doing all right. Baby, it'll be all right. We're going to get out, okay? We're going to leave.
But we're going to get fired.
No, we're going to get out of here. And we'll come back when it's more Princess Poppy, okay?
Princess Poppy going to get fired.
What he needs to do is get Elsa to breathe snow all over that fire.
Where are your frozen friends now? Where's your Messiah now?
Yeah. Some of those videos are super scary. Just people driving through. That would freak me out.
Yeah,
man.
the one girl was driving through a tunnel, and it was okay on one side, and then when she got through the other side, it was all black, and and what wasn't black was just flames. Yep, this one.
Oh my god. Oh my god, please let me out of here.
You can't turn around.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh, you can just hear the fire.
You can hear the embers hitting her windshield.
Oh
my god, please.
Everybody finds religion when you're in a natural disaster.
Yeah.
Please help me.
Like the planes going overhead, dumping that crap on
So
the...
crazy, man. It gives me chills even to listen to that. I really feel for those people.
It's like Armageddon. Like, I meant to ask Tom Papa when he was in here yesterday about, like, when you do have to evacuate, it probably looks like, if something were to happen where the highway is nothing, like, you're going out of the city and it's just packed. You can't move anywhere. Gas stations are running out of gas. Everyone's on one side of the highway, but no one's on the other. No one's going into the city. Everyone's leaving.
Right.
So
why not open that other side?
Huh?
Why not open that other side of the highway?
I think sometimes they do.
Yeah.
Well, when the hurricane was coming for North Carolina, they had both sides of the highway headed out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
They wanted to make it so you couldn't go in. But.
Okay.
I love that he's honking at people.
Mm-hmm.
Scoot along, friends. It's a fire outside.
I'm gonna stay away from it, okay? Yeah. Yep. Look, we're past it. We're out of it, okay? Yay. You did it. We did it together.
And then he just drops the pedal and gets the hell out of there.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Oh, God. If I was in the car with my kid.
With your daughter, I know.
I'd be like, we're getting the hell out of here.
Get out of the fire, old man.
That's right.
Get out of the flames, old man.
Old man. She'd still call me old man. No respect.
Get it out of my face, old man.
Ma'am. Thank you.
People are used to driving through like snow and stuff, but to drive through fire, I wouldn't even know how to navigate that.
It's
like
terrifying.
Through the smoke and the fire walls.
Because I would be afraid that my car would catch on fire, especially my raggedy ass car.
I know. Yeah, who knows? I think you just have to drive fast.
That should be a legitimate concern for you anyway.
My car,
Right.
Your car won't break. Just in regular sunny day weather, sunshine and air.
Well, like Poundcake would have made it out alive had he purchased something other than a old lemon.
My car drives fine. My car is great. No complaints. Yes, no complaints.
Okay.
No complaints.
What do you drive? You drive like a
Mercury
Blade or something? Oh.
A Blade? What?
He's crazy about his Mercury.
I was going to say that a Blade is a kind of car, probably, isn't it?
I don't know what a Blade is.
But I'm just thinking about like the tires melting or like, I don't know, maybe I dropped some gas when I was like putting gas in the tank.
But yeah, that's why they find people dead in their cars because they're like,
explodes.
I thought this would get me out of here and it's not, and you got nowhere to go. I got $1,000 here for you, our $1,000 bribe last week to win, by the way. But between now and Friday, you have plenty of chances to try to grab some. So good luck.
Your shot at $1,000. Now, text the nationwide keyword WIN to 200-200. You'll get a text confirming entry plus iHeartRadio info. Standard data and message rates apply in this nationwide contest. That's WIN to 200-200. Good luck from WMMS.
Alan, can you have tiny Poundcake write a column on the perils of being tiny?
I'd read that.
Yeah.
All of a sudden now y'all want to read it? We have critiques of that?
I always want to read it. I just was surprised by what it was about.
So it can't be woe is me?
I'd prefer it, didn't it? But again, write what you want to
I
write.
didn't read. I didn't read it as woe is me.
I think maybe I'm reading into that. I think maybe I'm taking more because I know you and I know how hard you're working, whatever, and maybe I read into that a little bit. Maybe it's not really there.
I didn't really get what was me. I got more just me. That's because there was a part where I'm like, oh, maybe this is going to be about his mom. Nope. Not about his mom.
That's true.
It's like, maybe this is going to be like a little tribute to his mom, and I was excited to read that. Nope.
It kind of was a tribute to my mom in the first
One
paragraph.
sentence.
In the first paragraph.
When I was young, my mother always instilled in me that I could be anything I wanted to be as long as I was willing to work hard and sacrifice for it. In my young age, I knew a lot about hard work and sacrifice just by looking through my mother's eyes. She was a single mother of two, working 12-hour shifts and arriving home just to get us on the school bus. I never saw my mother do much of anything other than work to provide for my brother and I. I changed that to me. That stayed with me into my adult years. Thanks to my mother, my work ethic and determination will rival even your company's resident brown-noser.
Yeah, but a brown-noser...
He's smiling as you read it. He's so proud of his
That is, well, he wrote it. I mean,
Yeah.
but this is just why Bill thought it was going to be a tribute to your mom. That is all a part of my vision of success that I know when I hit, it will be oh so gratifying and well-deserved. So,
and not like that would have been a perfect.
Yeah, he thought that was going to be about your mom.
It would have been a perfect place to say, and thanks to my mother, but it just well deserved.
She good?
I know she's good.
She's fine.
It's good.
I talk to her every day. Or every other day.
Have you made any promises to her about when and if you actually become crazy successful? Have you told her you'd buy her a house if she's alive? Have you told her that you'd... I mean, you're going to die at 35, so you got to kind of... Let's get going.
I'm trying. That's why I'm trying.
I know.
To get it going. No, because I would love to surprise her with that. Because my mom, she does not like to show off whatsoever. Like, I could get her a big diamond ring, and she'd be like, "Oh, that's too gaudy. I'm not going to wear that." She'll keep it because I gave it to her. But she's not like that.
So that she did not instill in you.
What?
Not being ostentatious and not being overly showy with things.
Yeah, no, that's all me.
Okay.
That's all me.
You didn't learn that from her.
No, because
Okay.
I mean, she doesn't like to wear jewelry. She'll wear things that like mean something to her. Like we got her a necklace, I think, for Christmas one year, my brother and I, and it was like some super cheap necklace. We couldn't afford much, and she wears that necklace every day.
Mm-hmm.
And it's I think it's the Mother Teresa. I'm like, okay,
It's like a family heirloom,
I guess.
right?
Yeah.
Something that she cherishes.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll write about your mom.
Okay.
That'd be lovely.
Until I broaden my scope.
Again, it's not like you have to broaden your scope. You just got to not write a diary entry.
But I also would like to try new things
That's
and
good
write
too.
about that as well.
Then maybe that can be the theme of the blog is Poundcake tries new things.
Okay.
And you can write about those experiences. Poundcake eats food he's never eaten before. Poundcake goes to the theater.
The theater. The theater.
Well, he's done that before.
Well, I mean, like if he were to go to an opera at
Yeah.
Severance Hall, that would be your take on that. Could be very, very funny.
Sure. Okay. I guess I just envisioned it different. I figured because you guys get crazy Poundcake on the show every day, I thought you guys wanted something. I don't know.
You just go in a completely different direction.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I thought. Okay. Well, I had it misconstrued. My bad.
Okay. Well, listen, I was just from the
curious
jump.
to see where it goes.
I
now.
was just curious to see what you had in you.
Okay.
As a communications person with a communications degree, which I know doesn't mean you can write. I understand that, but
I think the best is yet to come.
Okay.
I agree.
You heard it from Bill Squire right there.
I believe in you.
The best is yet to come, Poundcake.
I think you have the ability to write some very, very good, funny articles. I think you're just in your own head about it because you're trying to impress us.
Okay.
Which is impossible. So just write however, Just write whatever.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. It's like when you do commercials. People will say, it's like a executive Poundcake or broadcaster Poundcake.
Right,
But that's
right.
not the Poundcake they get here on the show.
Right.
And some people go, how come he doesn't sound like that on the show? So you'd have to ask him.
Okay.
I'm not saying bad or good. I'm just saying that's, you know.
Well, we know how to shut him up now.
No, I'm just trying to listen.
No, I
because,
think we're throwing a lot of things at him.
Mm-hmm. But like, I don't expect to be Poundcake all the time when I'm doing a live read or a commercial because you have a time limit. Like there's only 30.
Yeah, but
certain
you're
things I can
coming
say.
from your perspective to bring that to a commercial.
But I can still. It's in the way that I talk. That's me. I don't necessarily have to say bitch in every other phrase to.
No, you don't. But you would still be yourself. Just saying bitch doesn't define who you are.
Because it's coming out of my mouth. It's myself. I have my opinions. I'm not going to promote something that I don't really believe in.
Yeah. But like when you have your Sprint appearance coming up or whatever, you're not going to go, hello, everyone. I will be out this coming weekend at Sprint.
What's up, it's Poundcake. Join me at Sprint in Fairlawn this Saturday for the Alan Cox Show Sprint Holiday Toy Drive, benefiting the Salvation Army. We'll be at 3101 West Market Street in Fairlawn from...
Were you playing guitar while you did that live read?
Absolutely.
That's
absolutely.
talent.
That's badass.
You guys didn't even know I had that type of skill, so shame on you.
Shame on us. What do we do?
Shame on you.
What do we do? What I do? All right. See, that's, he's got music under him. Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all right.
Am I not Poundcake in that commercial?
You know what I mean? He's like, come on out, bitch.
Yeah, I don't expect you to do
Bring
that
it.
necessarily.
Bring a new toy, bitch.
There's a bunch of dusty ass kids that ain't got no toys, so gotta bring them toys.
Oh, the block is hot. Bring
Honestly,
some toys.
If he did his commercial like that, I'd be like 100% more likely to attend that event.
Oh boy.
I mean, whatever the client wants. If they told me they want, pound cake, like the real pound cake, then I would totally do that.
I got the script, and the only directions were thotting and bopping.
I'm like, I got you, boo-boo. You don't even need to give me a script.
That's right. That's right. I'm going to freestyle this one.
I'll ad-lib.
I'm off book.
That's the best. It's in italics in the beginning.
That's right.
Thotting and popping.
Talent must be thotting and bopping. That's right. Ooh, we've got just the person for this.
Smacks his succulent lips together.
Listen, y'all.
All right. Now, listen, all I've ever told you is we want you to be the most complete pound cake you can be, right?
I want to be too. That's why I like to show other sides, but like I never know what the line is really. Like
because when Omaha comes calling and says, "Hey, we need a
Omaha," why I gotta be in Omaha?
Well, where the hell do you think you're going to go from here?
Not a smaller market. Why would I leave for a smaller market?
Because you're a phone screener.
Because you'll get a salaried position somewhere else.
Yes.
I know, but like,
where do you think you're going to go?
I don't know, but not Omaha. That's KKK territory.
Okay.
America is KKK territory.
Yeah.
Right.
Some places more than others, but
all right. Okay. Well, pick a city, and and dream big.
Minneapolis.
Yeah, he always says Minneapolis.
I know.
Yeah, no KKK in Minneapolis, the whitest city on the planet. All right.
I have a friend that moved there. He loves it there.
Huh?
I have a friend that just moved there. He loves it there.
Oh, it's supposed to be awesome, except it's like 30 below in July.
Yeah,
so,
that's true.
Yeah, worse weather.
It's a little chilly, yeah.
All right, so when you go to Minneapolis...
I would prefer Minneapolis over Omaha.
I'm sure a lot of people would.
You'd go with whatever pays the most, wouldn't you?
Or, right, whoever was offering you a job.
But also quality of life.
Boy, you've got a lot of... God, so many...
For someone that's someone trying to make it.
Everybody's got so many criteria now. Used to be, hey, we want to hire you. I'll pack my crap. That's right.
See you tomorrow.
Think I wanted to go to Kalamazoo, Michigan? I did not. But I would have cut off my right nut to get a job in Omaha.
I do admire people, though, that like kind of do that, have that nomadic radio lifestyle. I don't think that's for me, personally.
It's not for everybody, but those are people, I mean, it's like...
I mean, I've moved around. I could do it. I've moved around multiple times, but it would be hard for me, personally. But you're young. You could go anywhere.
But I don't think anyone chooses to have that nomadic lifestyle. I think they get fired from a job or another job.
No, you want a better job, so you have to move.
You level up, yeah.
And even if you're a phone screener in a major market, like this isn't a huge market, but it isn't a small market, I think I get airtime. Like I have experience. Why would I just go to Omaha?
Because they were offering you a job.
Yeah, you're hosting your own show.
$60,000 a year. Plus whatever you make in endorsements.
We'd like you to be second chair on our morning show.
Straight out of Omaha. I guess I'm going to Omaha.
We'll pay to move your IKEA furniture.
As if I have furniture. That's funny.
You just disassemble it and put it in the trunk.
I wouldn't even need anything. I would just have a mattress on the floor. I'm like, I'm gonna be here for like 2 years, like the length of my contract, enough to like have some air checks and whatever, and then move to a next city.
You are adorable.
Oh my God.
Oh, this kid is the cutest. He is. I just want to pinch his little cheeks.
I do believe that he'd only move with a mattress, though.
Hey, good. That's all you need. What more do you need besides a mattress, right? You don't want to be in the mean streets of Omaha and have somebody break in and rip off all your stuff.
Yeah, he is a minimalist.
Yeah, that's true.
Hell, I don't even need a mattress. That's why I always thought I was like, you know what, I can suffer. Like I can, struggle for years because I don't need.
How many years?
Years? I don't know. Maybe. I can't put a limit on it. I just know I can go without.
Okay, that's good. That's a good thing to know about yourself.
I'm not a person that lives above his means.
That's a good thing to know about yourself.
If I don't have money to pay for something, I just won't get it, and I won't fret over it. Like I won't just.
Understood.
Yeah. I just won't go if I don't have money for the bar.
The true test of living below your means, though, is when you start making more money. Because everybody says, I can live within my means. When you don't make any money, you have to. It's not hard to do because you don't have any money. It's when you start making more money, if you can keep living the same way. That's how you do okay. It's people who make more money and then start spending more money.
Yeah.
Which is a perfectly natural thing to do. It just isn't like a long-term plan, really.
I just don't think that will ever be me. Just
All right.
because I know what it's like to have like nothing.
I want to listen to the Poundcake in Omaha show.
That's right.
Right?
I'm not taking that name with me.
They're hiring Poundcake. We're going to get there and be, hey, it's Cody Brown, everybody.
That is not going to follow me for my whole radio career.
All right.
I don't know when it's going to go away.
Says you.
I'm not taking it with me.
They're going to call me for some kind of reference, and they're going to go, hey, we got Cody Brown's demo. We really like it. I go, I don't know who you're talking about.
How dare you?
And they go, Cody, he's on your show. I go, I don't know anybody by that name.
Poundcake and the Omaha show.
Poundcake? Oh, yeah, Poundcake. Oh, he's great. Yeah. I don't know who this Cody character is you're talking about. That guy's a real putz. Poundcake, you definitely want on your team.
You know what I'd love? I'd love for Poundcake to make it like huge one day, and then he gets interviewed, and the very last line of the article, he's just like, and to think the old radio co-hosts I worked with insulted me about an article. And that's like the last line.
Uh-huh.
You never know what could happen.
You never do. Okay, good. I've got some stuff for you. Later on, Craig Ferguson will join us around 4 o'clock. He's doing a show at the Agora next Thursday night. He's on tour. The Hobo Fabulous Tour is what he's calling it. 35192 if you want to text, or AlanCoxShow.com.
The Alan Cox Show on 100.7 WMMS. And everywhere you go on our free iHeartRadio app.
iHeartRadio sold out alter ego.
Listen all this week at 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. to win.
Tom Papa used to open for Kill Switch Engage. A lot of people don't know about that. Brings you back, doesn't it?
I like to say we co-headlined.
You'd flip back and forth. Sometimes they'd open for you.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a rowdy crowd at a Tom Papa show.
I felt bad for the guys because they'd come out to play and they would just get hit with water bottles until I came out.
Yeah, they go, how do we follow that? Yeah. Welcome back.
Good to see you.
Good to see you, too.
Thanks for having me.
How are you?
I'm doing well.
Busy?
I am
got a
very
lot
busy.
of plates spinning, my friend.
I do.
Yeah.
I do. And
Literally.
I'm thinking about throwing them all into the garbage.
Oh, no.
Just giving it all up.
Yeah.
Just walk away.
Enough already.
You made some money, right?
Just let me tell jokes.
Yeah.
Be alone.
Be alone.
Be alone. Just be alone.
No, I'm working hard. I'm hustling.
Well, that's
I'm
what
all
I mean.
over the place.
We were talking yesterday that you were going to be on, and I was kind of thinking, you've talked about how it can be a challenge and also a relief to be away from home for some time. The life of a comic. But then you're doing the Baked show on Food Network.
Yeah.
You're doing the NPR show.
Yeah.
Which I don't know how often. Obviously you're on the road for the cooking show.
Yeah, and the NPR show wants me there as often as I can.
Now, where is there?
And then I had
for
the
that?
book. The book came out, so I had this book tour at the same time as all that. This was all, by the way, the beginning of the year when I was like, I think I'm going to tour like a rock band and just like pick my moments and just go out for a couple months and just be around for the kids a little bit. They're going to be leaving the home in a couple of years. I'm going to dial back the road a little bit. And then the tsunami hit of all those projects, and I've been gone since April.
Right. Since April.
Yeah, it's been really heavy since April.
Was a lot of FaceTiming? How does that work with the family? I'm always curious.
No, I do it old-timey. I just write like a letter on yellowed paper and send it in the post.
Do you have a feathered quill that you dip into an inkwell?
Yeah.
My dearest Clara, or whatever your daughter's name is.
Exactly, and I just give it to a gentleman down at the train station and hope it arrives in a month or two.
Oh, mail boy.
Yeah. And then
Carrier pigeon.
Yeah, and then they send me a response, and it catches me eventually in some hotel. It keeps being forwarded. And
Papa sent a letter.
He's grown now.
He's grown.
And it's been so. After this weekend, I'll be home for Thanksgiving for like 2 weeks, which is like kind of a finish line of sorts.
Do you do New Year's Eve somewhere? Is that a big gig for you?
No. Since the beginning of my career, unless it's a real sweet gig, we celebrate New Year's with the family.
Okay.
And I don't have a real sweet gig this year.
A lot of the single dudes like Mar and Spade will do Hawaii every year.
Yeah.
You and Mar went to the same high school.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
Pascack Hills High School in
Go
Montville,
Cowboys.
New Jersey.
Yeah.
Go Cowboys.
Yeah. Wasn't that the team?
And I met Mar, and he came. I don't know if I met him at like a dinner. Or I think he was in Vegas when I was working with Seinfeld, and I was all excited because
is that Jerry?
Yeah.
Okay.
The other Seinfeld.
Mort Seinfeld was a big-time agent for a while.
Yeah. And I was all excited to meet Mar, and I was like, one of those moments. We went to the same high school, and you took the same bus into New York. And he was like,
right.
Great. So, Jerry.
But he was about 10 years ahead of you, too, probably.
Yeah, at least.
Yeah.
At least he's really old.
He's very old.
Yeah.
North of 60.
Yeah.
It is weird to see those guys get, I'm 47.
Yeah.
So it's weird to see the guys that are your pop culture contemporaries.
Yeah.
And they're like, I'm 60 now.
I know. Like, it's so strange when you watch the news, especially because the news is for old people.
Mm-hmm. That's what I've heard.
You see, like, all these people who you liked. Like, what's her name from Halloween?
Jamie Lee Curtis,
like doing like a bone density ad, and Sally Field talking about
the
peeing her pants.
Right.
And you're like, wait, these were I used to think they were beautiful.
Yeah.
And now they're
hawking poop yogurt.
Hey, they're still beautiful while they're hawking their poop yogurt. Like Jamie Lee Curtis looks good for her.
She looks great.
Yeah. But that's why you always have that qualifier. She looks good for her age.
Yeah, for her age. No, it's not really good.
So what product, as Tom Papa gets older or approaches that part of his life, what product do you look forward to hawking?
I think it would be alcohol. I think it would be
just alcohol.
Alcohol in general. You know how they do generic milk commercials? Got alcohol?
I'm Tom Papa for alcohol.
Do your hips hurt? Do you have trouble staying awake in public settings? Alcohol.
Do you have to be around people you don't want to be around? Alcohol.
Are you tired of pretending that all this is fun? Alcohol. I'm Tom Papa for alcohol.
So the kids are almost, they're teenagers?
They are teenagers.
They're almost out of the house?
Yeah, I have a junior in high school.
Okay.
So she's, starting to get mail from universities, and she's going to be packing up her stuff in a couple of years, which is such a strange concept because I bought this house and live in this town not for me, but for them.
Right.
I didn't want any of this.
And they're leaving.
And then they're going to leave.
Right.
And I'm going to be sitting there with my wife and the dog like, what do we do now? I'm thinking we just pack a backpack, dynamite the whole place, knock it down, and go back to living like we did when we first started dating.
Also very progressive to have a female junior. That's, there's not a lot of people that will do that. Tom Papa Jr. as a girl.
Tom Jr. Oh, Thomasina. She's gorgeous and beautiful.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? It's like we did that project with those people. But I guess you wanted a place for them to come home and visit. I don't know.
Yeah, but you guys, then you'll sell the house, get one of those like...
Get a timeshare.
No, you get like one of those one-story glorified storage unit pads on Venice Beach.
Yeah,
and that's where you live.
And you don't
over by Duchovny and that whole crew.
And let the kids go. I mean, the one part is like now, like Thanksgiving, the kids come home, and they're just going to come sit in your storage shed. They probably won't come home as often.
216-578-1007 or 800-348-1007. 35192 to send me a text. Another chance for you to get to our sold-out Alter Ego Festival right around 5 o'clock this afternoon. That's coming up the 19th of January at the Forum in L.A., and there are only 2 chances each day for you to win one of those trips. 9 o'clock with Rover, 5 o'clock with me. This is the last week for you to do it. You want to see 21 Pilots and Muse and The Killers and Weezer and Rise Against, Bishop Briggs and The Revivalists.
It's a hot ticket.
I didn't realize 21 Pilots has such a young fan base.
Oh, it's super young.
I had no idea. A friend of mine in L.A. took like her little niece or something to see them. I think they did a show out there a couple nights ago, I think. And that crowd, boy, it looked like 12 and 13, if that, like 11 and 12-year-olds.
I went.
How do you generate that if you're that band?
I don't. That's just who they're.
It's that
hitting a
sound
chord
too,
with.
I think.
Well, there's some I enjoy that band, and I went with my son a couple years ago when they played at the Wolstein Center, and I was shocked by not only I thought they were kind of popular. I didn't know they had this loyal a fan base, and kids were losing their minds. They were all his age, around like 13,
is it
14,
just because
but now
they
he's
kinda,
like 15, and he's one of the older kids at the shows.
Is it because they kind of try to keep some mystique about themselves, or what is it?
I think they just strike a chord. People like the songs. They like the material.
I think it's a type of music, and then I also think it's the high energy on stage. Like, they're always, like, jumping around and climbing things, and, like, they're just very entertaining to see live. And I don't know, I think it kind of is reminiscent of, like, that emo scene.
Yeah, it's definitely got, like, an Outcast vibe to it. Like, it's definitely all the kids that feel like they
weird,
don't
but
get...
being weird is cool.
Right, because that's a lot of the messages in the songs.
Oh, so they get him at, like, just the right time.
Yeah.
I think so.
Okay.
Back when, like, I was into all, like, the emo bands, it was kind of a similar type of vibe.
But they were never as big as this band is.
They're not super poppy, though. At least they
some
don't...
of the songs... Stressed Out's pretty poppy.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm thinking of the new
Turn back
stuff.
time to the good old days. To me, that's poppy.
And there's nothing better than a bunch of 13-year-old kids singing, "Wish we could turn back time
to the good old days."
Where do you think you are right now?
You're in the good days.
None of you
honey.
paid for your ticket. None of you had to park.
These are the good old days.
None of you had to park.
Right. You look back on this time and be so happy.
Yeah.
Well, I was reading an article, and it shouted out Cleveland. This was, I don't even remember what magazine this was in, that the trick to staying young is hanging out with young people. And it was just a very, I'm not going to get into the details because it's pretty probably dull to anybody other than me, but it was just very interesting. It was like kind of a psychological breakdown of how. But
you hang out with young people every day.
I do. A toddler, my wife.
Well, and you hang out with your wife's friends, too, which are pretty young. You hang out with us. I mean, you don't really hang out, but you're forced to. You're forced to be around us.
But they called out Judson Manor, which is right next to the Cleveland Museum of Art on the east side, and they were talking about how they have some program where music students perform for older people or something, and they get, it's good for the older people.
We did that when we were kids. Our choir sang.
There's an artist in residence program at Judson Manor, which gives free housing to graduate music students who in turn perform for the residents and join in meals and other activities. So they're living with and integrating
That's really
with
cute.
old people.
Looks like I'm doing my part.
Yeah.
You're keeping her young,
That's
Bill.
how Grandma stays young. She lives with Bill.
I taught her how to, she got
Dougie?
Words with Friends on her iPad. So now we're playing on there instead of like traditional
regular Scrabble.
And she's playing with her sister, and she's really digging it because she beat me in this latest game. So she's just really holding that over my head.
Okay.
But yeah, I've showed her so much when it comes to like the World Attack. I helped her cut the cord so she doesn't have to pay for cable because all she would watch is Cavs games. So we got Sling so that she doesn't have to, and then I pay for that because I use it anyway. So it saves her like $120
So you probably
bucks
are
a
a
month.
pretty good influence on her there.
Well, yeah, I'm also trying to get her to do drugs and stuff like that. So it's like,
Let's
it's
drugs,
kind of
Grandma.
a wash. Yeah,
it all evens out. Let's drugs. It is on my calendar when I get to cancel cable.
When you get to?
Yeah, when my contract's over.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
It's an exciting day.
It's coming up. I can't wait.
Save so much money.
Hey,
yeah,
so
I'll be
expensive.
canceling at some point. We'll get Sling or we'll get something because that's all we watch.
Sling
for
or
is
YouTube
sports.
TV. Like, there's so many different options now. Even like PlayStation has their own TV service, or DirecTV has
Hulu, you
one.
can get DVR with them and the
yeah,
whole
yeah.
thing.
There's so much stuff. Yeah, Hulu's got a live service now too. So
Hey, Colleen.
Hey, I just want to chime in on the 21 Dragons thing. I wanted to
See? Okay, Colleen, hold on real quick, all right? This is what I'm talking about when people can't tell. 21 Dragons,
21
right.
Dragons.
That's right.
It was 21 Pilots.
No, it's okay.
I love it.
This is precisely what I'm talking about. When
See, I'm too old for this. I don't know. It's not my thing.
I like 21 Dragons.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty great. No, I just mix up the two bands. My son, he's 7 years old, and he's totally into 21 Pilots and Imagine Dragons. And I don't even listen to it. I barely listen to music on the radio. And I'm like, where do you get this musical taste from? And I've noticed like a lot of young kids are totally into those two bands, and along with other crazy stuff. It was funny. Imagine Dragons, 21 Pilots.
Maybe it's because it's. Imagine Dragons to me.
Alan
I
hates
assume kids like them because they don't know any better.
Oh,
I guess.
Right.
You know,
Well,
they're like,
that's
yeah,
what
okay. I think I heard this in a truck commercial.
well, that's why there's a bunch of
Right.
18-year-old kids going out to see Greta Van
Well, it's
Fleet.
funny. Like, my son's 7, and if you ask him what his favorite genre of music is, he tells you dubstep. And I'm like, what the hell is this guy? Like, I raised you better than that. So, he's totally into dubstep and all that other stuff.
I like EDM. It all starts with the drums.
Right. And 7-year-olds love it.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Colleen.
No problem.
7-year-old.
She's gonna go check out that. I couldn't come up with it. I don't know. 30 seconds to Fall Out Boy is on tour. Hey, Margaret. Oops, sorry. I'm off today. Margaret.
Hey, guys. So I just took my daughter to the 21 Pilots concert. She's 11, and I think what...
Oh, good for you!
No, but I'm pretty sure that they do not swear in any of their songs, like, purposefully.
Oh, is that true?
I think that's...
I wanted to say that, but I wasn't sure, so I didn't want to speak on something I didn't know. But I've never heard a curse word.
Oh,
in
I
any
thought
of
they
their
dropped a
songs.
whole bunch of expletives in
I
there.
don't think so.
Oh, okay. Well, then that goes a long way.
Right. So I think a lot of parents are totally cool with their kid getting into that because you don't have to watch the lyrics and everything's pretty clean. So it was a
parent-friendly.
great concert, though. It really was fun.
But
they put on a great show.
But it's also not like young kids are averse to cursing. So
Right.
I understand where you're coming from as a parent. I'm just wondering why that would be a draw for a kid.
Well, I think what it is the parents are willing to take the kids to the concerts, and then they go see them live, and they're really fun to see live, and then they become even more of a fan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but how do the parents find out that they don't curse in their music?
They do their
Because
research.
kids find
Do they?
music to listen to. Like,
Parents are doing research on what their kids are listening to. Since
Oh,
when?
I do, and then I get furious. Like I did until they got to a certain age. Now they're all like grown up.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna try and stop them now. It's too late. But yeah, when they're really getting into someone, like there's this one kid that my son likes, NF, who is a white rapper,
Oh,
and
yeah,
I got
I
into
like
him,
NF.
and he started as like a Christian rapper, and now
Yeah.
he's trying to go more mainstream. So all his stuff is like really uplifting.
Yeah.
But I know, I'm like,
yuck.
Like I was like, couldn't you listen to Lil Pump or something?
Yeah,
isn't
Lil Xan.
NF like the
NF.
the I'm Sorry song?
I can't remember any of it.
I can't think of it, but
all.
I think NF has a really good song that's charting right now.
Yeah, he was just here a couple weeks ago too.
Oh, okay.
He's from Bufu, Michigan or something. I think Eminem might have found him or
Yeah.
I don't know what, but
I like the chorus in his new song. I think that's
NF.
getting play.
But he's another one that's getting like he's blowing up because his music's clean, so he's taking that route.
Yeah.
I'm more of a Gus Dapperton man myself, but otherwise, it's all good. All right, thank you, Margaret.
Yep.
All right. Tell your kid to go F himself. From Uncle Alan, right? So anyway, 5 o'clock, you can see the delightfully clean 21 Pilots possibly in Los Angeles on our Alter Ego Festival. Do the guys in Muse curse a lot? Do the Killers curse?
I don't think
A lot of
Muse.
expletives in Weezer?
But the
Rise Against. They got potty mouths.
The guys in 21 Pilots are also very young. Like they're real young.
Yeah, but that's where
like
you get your
early 20s.
That's where you get your best cursing in.
I know.
Yeah.
And if they're angry,
I don't think it's angry kind of music.
21 Pilots?
No.
It's got some
Yeah,
it's
I
got some
thought they were-
angst behind it.
Yeah, I don't know if
wouldn't
it's anger necessarily, but it's like,
Do they at least use substitute curse words like fudge? Or this melon farming song is for you guys in the back row. Let's turn it the fudge up.
Fudge the police.
That I'd like to hear.
Take them fudge.
That's right.
To show appreciation for all they've done.
All they do. Respect the blue line. Bring us some Mallies. Something. So, no sooner does Jimmy Butler go to the 76ers, and they say Kyle Korver might be headed there next.
Oh, really?
Yeah. World's upside down. Browns are winning, Cavs are losing. I don't know what the hell is going on around
I'm a
here.
little bummed about
living
Korver.
together.
They lost to the Bulls by 1 point on Saturday.
I know.
Jimmy Butler's old team, and he's going to the Sixers. They said that they're shopping Kyle Korver to the 76ers. Where they would be playing with Charles Barkley,
Right.
who is very, very long in the tooth.
Dr. J.
Allen Iverson, AI back in the mix. So, some of the veterans would be able to really show it to the young guys. Jason Kidd in the mix, right? Is
No, he
no?
never played with the
No,
Sixers.
no.
You got a little cocky there. a little cocky.
Yeah. What did he coach the Nets?
He coached the Nets.
I thought he coached the Sixers for a hot minute. I know he went to Milwaukee.
He coached the Nets and then got traded to Milwaukee, then got fired, and then Milwaukee got pretty good.
Okay.
So this year, Milwaukee's one of the best records in the East.
Well, the Browns game was at least fun to watch.
Oh, it was a great game.
Super fun.
Loved
Chubb, oh my God.
Chubb.
That's his name.
I know. I was watching. I go, there's a guy out there named Chubb.
And he ran for the longest, what do you call it?
Touchdown?
Return.
Not return.
Yeah.
That's what I meant to say.
No, it wasn't a return.
It wasn't?
No.
I thought it was. I thought it was like one of those Devin Hester Super Bowl moves.
No.
No, but they call it something like
It was a run.
longest.
It was the longest rushing touchdown.
Rushing.
Okay, longest rushing touchdown.
Oh, I thought
in
it was a
Cleveland
return.
Browns history.
I was kind of talking. I was doing my cocks out, so I'm like talking to people and half looking, but
Yeah.
it was fun
That
to
was
watch.
insane.
Did Woody come out to your cocks out?
He did. He said he came out to your veterans thing.
He did.
Yeah.
Not the veterans thing. The veterans thing was Friday.
The
that
bar
was
crawl.
great. That
Willoughby
was
bar
Quaker
crawl.
Steak and Lube, thanks to Lorraine County veterans. And then the bar crawl, or the Bill Squire tour of Willoughby, was a lot of fun too. And then after Frank and Tony's place, I went and saw Woody's little
lake house
on the lake. Yeah.
Oh, Casa
You went
de
to
Woody?
Woody's lake
Yeah.
house?
It was really cool.
And then you made it out alive.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet.
I had to fight my way out, but I got there.
Pocket knife through the screen door, and it's all good.
No, it's a really, it is just a bedroom,
A small house.
living room,
Yeah.
and a kitchen.
It's all you need.
But it's all you need. You're right there on the water.
Mm-hmm.
You can walk down and get in the water if you want. You hear the waves crashing, and because it's winter, everything's just a sheet of ice if you walk out there. It was cold, but it's
icy?
cool. Yeah, yeah. We had to pry the door open because it was frozen shut.
Damn.
But it was really beautiful. I'd like to actually see it in the summer when it's nice.
Yeah.
But cool. Yeah, I went there and we were listening to some Coheed and Cambria. They kept calling it what is it, Bob Cambria and Jim Coheed?
That's right.
Bob Cambria.
21 Coheeds.
Yeah.
Yep.
He thought it was a duo, like a Hall
Jim
of Notes.
Coheed and Frank Cambria. Those guys are really good.
Yeah, Bernie Cambria. He's really bringing in this song.
It's the solo Coheed stuff that's real hard to find.
Yeah.
When they split up over drug abuse. So yeah, anyway, Sixers reportedly close to getting Kyle Korver from the Cavaliers. So
stinks.
if you
And
care,
J.R. Smith's probably going to go. What is this team?
who's going to fill
This is
that?
what happens with basketball.
I know.
It's what happens.
I'm
That's
just
why you don't
sad.
get attached to these
Right.
people.
Well, you
At least we have
appreciate
Channing Frye.
You appreciate what they do when they're there, but teams are going to have to turn over. And again, J.R. Smith is not the player he was in 2016 when he won the championship.
True.
Kyle Korver is 37, almost 38 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Let him go play on a team that's competitive rather than wasting his last season in Cleveland
They
on a
can
one-win team.
burn out the rest of their career.
And he's got trade value, so we can get picks or good young players for this guy.
But who's
So
going to
let's do
fill?
it.
Who's going to fill that mouth-breathing Neanderthal vibe that he puts out there?
Please.
Chetty
He is
Osman.
a sexy beast.
Who?
Chetty Osman.
That's true.
There you go.
He's kind of got a
Either him or Z.
Ante Zizic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, not Zadrunas
Yeah, don't call him
Ilgauskas?
Z.
Oh,
There's one
okay.
Z.
Sorry.
Yeah, he can't call him.
Sorry, Zizic.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Alan NF is a Christian rapper, nothing to do with Eminem. Okay. All right.
But he's trying to be more mainstream now. Like he's not. His newer stuff is less Christian.
I hope I'm not confusing him with someone else, but I think I'm into him.
Well,
He
I
has a
don't
song
know.
called Hoodie, I think.
Yeah, I think that's him.
Well, listen, I'm always trying to get my kids into music that I like and vice versa. And so sometimes it works both ways.
Yeah.
Longest rushing touchdown from scrimmage.
Yes, rushing touchdown. I meant rushing was the word I was looking for.
From Chubb.
Yeah, it was a great game.
Yeah.
Here's what I don't understand when it comes to football. You have these coaches like Hugh Jackson and Todd Haley who've been in the league for so long.
Mm-hmm.
And then they get fired. You have a guy like Kitchens who goes, okay, I'm trying to show off what I can do. So instead of trying to force these guys into an offense that doesn't work for their skill set, I'm going to tailor the offense to what they're good at. Why don't more coaches do that? You know you're working for wins. Like, you have to produce to keep your job. So when a guy like Todd Haley is calling plays and he's trying to get Baker Mayfield to be this pocket passer that's not suited for his skill set, it doesn't make sense to me.
I think they just go with what they know. But the new coaches that have had to step in, I think it's just like there's nothing to lose. They have nothing to lose. They can throw anything against the wall at this point because people aren't expecting anything from them.
Yeah, but I just don't understand that mentality of going with what you know instead of adapting to the players that you have.
Yeah.
Trying to force a round peg into a square hole makes no sense when it comes to football.
Because why bring them on if they're going to be
Right.
at the whims of whatever you know?
Yeah, it's like if Todd Haley were coaching Pat Mahomes, he'd be like, "Oh, Pat Mahomes, you do it my way or it's the highway." When he's got this guy, I don't know who their offensive coordinator is, but Andy Reid has tailored that offense to his skills, and they're killing it.
You saw his girlfriend's dad died at the game?
Really?
Stepdad.
What? Wow.
Patrick Mahomes had to leave right after the Chiefs game because his girlfriend's stepdad collapsed outside the park and died on the way to the hospital.
Wow.
Oh my God, that's terrible.
That's why you don't go to Cincinnati.
You might not make it out alive in Cincinnati. All right. So, yeah, that whole thing.
Crazy.
Cincinnati?
That's where they were playing. Was it this Sunday?
Yeah.
They were playing in Cincinnati.
Against the Bengals?
That's the team that plays in Cincinnati.
I thought the Saints were in Cincinnati.
Oh, yeah,
this
that's right.
weekend.
That's right. Look at you, Mr. Football. That's correct.
There's all those screams at the Brew Garden.
Yeah.
I just saw because Sean Payton's from Chicago, so I kind of keep an eye on him. But he's a scumbag too. They called the cops on him because he trashed a bathroom or something. Or I don't know.
Speaking of Chicago, Mitch Trubisky's looking good.
Yeah,
you guys are in good shape. First
he
place.
is. Except the kicker hit the uprights.
Oh my
4
God!
Times yesterday.
Do you have that video?
No.
It's good sound because you hear the clang. It's got to be on Twitter. Yeah.
You bring back Robbie Gould. I know he's 80 years old, but
they were showing that highlight again and again and again, and they're like, we have to reiterate, this is not one kick we're showing 4 times. It's 4 kicks. He hit the upright 4 times.
And super hard to do, by the way, too.
So way harder than making field goals.
Yeah. Cody Parkey is the kid who kicks her. Yeah.
And it just goes boom.
You should get extra points if you hit it.
Oh, God. Boom. Yeah, right. When we had Robbie Gould, he was like the leading scorer in franchise history, and now this kid's hitting the uprights. Come on, man. Bong.
That's one thing, yeah. To just keep missing is one thing, but just to be so close yet so far away, and then it goes viral because of it hitting the upright 4 times.
Because it's rare in sports that your mistake makes a sound.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
And so for this, bong, 4 times.
Getting gonged off.
It's like the
yeah.
button.
Bong.
Denied.
Hear that in his sleep. Okay, I'm going to have tickets for you around 3:20 for the Magic of Lights. Want to get into the holiday spirit? Light display at Magic of Lights starts this weekend through the end of the year at the Cuyahoga County Fairgrounds in Berea. So if you want to check that out, I'll have some passes for you. Craig Ferguson checking in around 4 o'clock. We'll talk about his show coming up next week at the Agora. 35192 if you want to text.
One who has pots is, cooking and
Pots and
making things
pans.
in pots.
Right, the Pots cookbook would be pots and pans.
Yeah.
Yep.
But there's really not, you don't have recipes for pots.
Things you can do from kneeling.
It's all
or
just
sitting.
salt and water.
It's all the recipes you can make while sitting down at your stove. You just reach up here and you just be very careful.
Spoiler alert, while baking the cookies for you guys today, I have a little stool in my kitchen and I sit on that when I...
Clean your kitchen.
God.
That's why you have too many cats.
Ugh. There was a little stool right by her foot.
No, a step stool.
Oh, Bill, she
stepped in it.
Didn't mean poop. Mm-hmm.
And I sit on that in front of the oven and
You
in front
sit
of my
in the
mixer.
stepped on poop?
That's right.
Yeah. All right.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
Can't say anything.
So you sit at your stove.
I sit at the stove
Yeah.
and then I have my
You probably
mixer.
can't cook bacon that way without like a welder's helmet on or something.
I microwave bacon.
Pardon me?
Yeah.
All right. Or cook it in the oven.
Nah.
That's good too.
It is good, but it's just too time consuming.
You mean you don't like to do the lattice like I do? Really?
No.
The lattice is nice.
It is nice. But it is labor intensive.
Yes, a little.
What's a lattice?
Intertwined like weave,
Yeah.
woven.
Woven meat.
Woven meat on that Hailstorm show. You ever heard of a band called Bad Omens?
No.
I've heard a couple of their songs. It's kind of run-of-the-mill screamo, I think, but they have dropped off a tour with a couple of bigger bands because they
I've heard about this.
said their name was too small on the poster. The Amity, Affliction, and Senses Fail were going on the road.
Love senses fail.
They all sound the same.
I know.
To me.
I know.
Scream, chord, scream.
I get it.
Oh,
it is repetitive.
My God. These bands, give me something I can sink my teeth into. But Bad Omens said they just announced the tour, and they said they were going to drop off the tour because their name was too small on the poster. These are those kind of stories that make funny headlines, but I can't believe that's the actual real story. There's contracts and things that get signed for these tours. A partial toe amputation forced the band High on Fire, which is a great band if you like stoner rock. A partial toe amputation had forced High on Fire to jump off their recent tour. But Bad Omens hopped off basically because of font size.
So stupid.
Yep. They said they were unhappy about the size of their name on the artwork. I mean, for bands that go, that's just a 3 or 4 band tour, but, these bands that do festivals where you get down to, the 8-point font. And if it's one of those death metal festivals where everybody's logo looks like vines and you can't read it anyway, it looks like the same band is playing 50 times.
I know. Yeah. I'll be honest,
it's a matter with block lettering, guys.
I think a lot of bands, if they see that their font is smaller on a poster, that usually means your time slot is worse. So it probably comes down more to that as to why they canceled. Is they're like, well, we're the smallest font. That means we're going to have to open every night. And we're going to play to 5 people. So screw that.
Yeah, but if it's one of those things where you're on a tour with, you could still build a fan base off of being on that tour.
Yeah, I just, the one thing I've learned about being in a band and dating band guys and being married to one and whatever is, band guys are always arguing about time slots. And it sucks. We got to play MGK's EST Fest 2 years in a row, but our time slot was literally a joke. People were still waking up by the time we were playing. They were camping and they were waking up. So it's just a time slot's kind of everything, and you can see the writing on the wall. If your font size is small, bad time slot.
Listen, there's another band called Belmont that is on this tour with them, and they had the exact same size font as Bad Omens, and they're still on the tour.
Probably because they're trying to make a name for themselves. So I don't know who the hell that is.
But that's the smart thing to do. Yeah. You don't jump off the tour because you're Bad Omens.
No, it's a bad look. You should pay your dues, right? Yeah. You should pay your dues.
So if you like any of the remaining bands, they'll play the House of Blues on January 27th. I did stage announcements for Lollapalooza in 2007. Mm-hmm. And they have the 2 main stages in Grant Park, obviously, and then all the side stages. And I had to bring on Juliet and the Licks.
Oh, yeah?
Juliette Lewis and her band. And for some reason, for a band that, and they weren't that well known then, they're a bit more known now, but I think back then they were still considered a bit of a novelty. But a novelty that might draw people because you have a celebrity singing in this band.
Right, yeah.
For some reason, they put them on first on one of the side bands. So I had to bring them on at noon or 11 or something.
Tough time.
And I'm standing there talking to her, and we're just kind of chopping it up or whatever, and we're both looking out. And this side stage was basically on what was normally a baseball diamond.
Yeah, right.
And there's 15 people out there, and they went out and tore
Rocked
it up.
it. I know.
Oh, my God.
Well, that's what you do. I mean, when we played...
You got to play to just like you're playing to 50,000 people.
When we played EST Fest, I mean, we went ham. I was squirting champagne out of a squirt gun.
I'm so glad she said
people.
champagne out of a squirt gun.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that statement was longer.
Champagne.
Oh, we were so excited I was squirting.
That would get people's attention, though.
It really would. Hey, if you go to a Hawkeye show, don't stand in the first 3 rows.
We're like the Blue Man Group.
Yeah, like Gallagher. Alan, they have Atkins diet food in stores. That's basically keto. Paul
Not
says.
really, though.
I don't know. That's what Paul says.
It's not really the same thing.
Bad Omens is also releasing a T-shirt with small font in response to the game. I don't know if that's true. That'd be funny. But if you're going to jump off the tour, I have a feeling that, hey, geniuses, where are you going to sell the merch?
Yeah, why don't you do the
on
tour
your website
and sell the tiny font T-shirt on the tour? That makes more sense.
I think it would be cool if you were a band to make a T-shirt that looked like a festival lineup.
But just your band?
With all the different fonts, but your band's name is the only one on there. So it's your band name in big font, small font,
yeah.
But it looks like it's a big festival.
You got to work to get your band's font bigger.
Yeah, I mean,
guys,
you gotta pay your dues.
This is the year we go from 9 to 12.
But just be a funny T-shirt if it's only their band name in different size fonts on the front,
Sure.
looking like it was
And
a full
different logos,
festival.
yeah.
I would buy if some band had that T-shirt and I didn't even care about the band. I would still buy that T-shirt because it's funny.
I've got $1,000 for you. As promised, we do our $1,000 bribe every hour. And you got a shot to walk away today with $1,000. Good luck.
Your shot at $1,000. Now, text the nationwide keyword WIN to 200-200. You'll get a text confirming entry plus iHeartRadio info. Standard data and message rates apply in this nationwide contest. That's WIN to 200-200. Good luck from WMMS.
Alan, due in part to my strict Catholic upbringing, it took until my 20s to admit that I'm a lesbian. So I regret all the D's I've ever seen, including Bill Squires. Look at that.
What?
You banged a girl at some point and made her a lesbian.
That's
Good
a
job.
scandal.
Good job, Bill.
Whoever that is, text me. I want to know who you are. I want to know who I turned.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, that is hilarious.
I regret the one vagina I've seen.
Why do you regret it?
Did you see it though?
I guess I
Or did you just reach down?
Yeah, I guess I didn't see it. I don't think I've ever seen it.
He saw it in his mind. He had a mental
mind's
image.
eye, yeah.
He had a mental image of what it was.
Does a picture count?
It's worth 1,000 words.
She sent me one before, like I.
No, she. All right. Before she sent you one?
Yeah.
Before you were going to be.
Yeah.
And this is when you guys were kids too.
In the gazebo.
Yeah, gross.
I was the gazebo.
I'm proud to say I've never taken a picture of my vag and sent it to someone. That's so awkward.
It was very awkward.
You're proud to say that.
I'm proud.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
you know, sure. It is an accomplishment.
Yeah.
People should only be proud of accomplishments.
I turned someone gay.
But you want to talk about
Bill turned someone gay.
But like,
Congratulations.
Good job, Bill.
He did it.
Do that now, don't they? Call themselves lesbos.
Yes.
honestly though, but while we're talking about like bad omens, like the girl that I tried to mess with 2 times, something bad happened. The first time, the thing happened where I thought she peed on me. The second time I tried.
That's not a bad thing. That's a misinterpretation of
Well,
how
I
the
didn't
body
know,
works.
and I was very traumatized. But the second time I tried, and her friend was downstairs playing DDR, and her dad got into a bad car accident while we were in the middle of trying to do something.
Those are 2 very
So you were meant to
different
be
things.
gay?
I mean, I figured
DDR?
Dance Revolution.
She was downstairs playing, and then she
what?
comes running upstairs, banging on the door. And I'm like, we're kind of busy. And then she's like, my dad got into a car accident. We got to go to the hospital. And then I was like, if fate was supposed to have me lose my virginity.
Away, Alan Cox, baby, give big stuff away. Give stuff away.
All right, a couple of tickets for the drive-through light display at the Magic of Lights. It kicks off this Friday through December 31st at the Cuyahoga County Fairgrounds in Berea. The enchanting tunnel of lights, incredible animation, all your favorite holiday characters, and lots more. If you want to leap headlong into the holiday spirit, this is a good way to do it. magicoflights.com. If you want to look into it, pile everybody in the car and get out there. A couple of tickets for you here if you are caller 12. Good luck. 216-578-1007 or 800-348-1007.
Some people say our country is more divided than ever. But don't ask him. He sucks at math. Alan Cox on 100.7 WMMS.
If you're listening to the show on iHeartRadio, let me know where you are if you're out of state. Gilly is a new bureau chief in Butler, PA. David listens out on Hatteras Island, North Carolina, in the Outer Banks. Jeff is in Portland, Oregon. Mark is outside Fargo, North Dakota. And John listens up in London, Ontario. Of course, iHeartRadio is available in Canada and now in Mexico. Have yet still to hear from a bureau chief south of the border. But I assume that that'll be somewhere in our future. We do have that Latino list somewhere, don't we? Those 6 guys who wanted to be singled out.
6 Latinos. And in Spanish, that would be seis?
Seis.
Seis.
Mm-hmm. Great article on how self-driving cars are basically just going to be rolling brothels.
Oh, fun.
That most people will probably use self-driving cars to bang in.
That is a great idea.
Mm-hmm. And it probably only took somebody 0.5 seconds to think about it, too.
Will it be legal, though?
Probably it's your car. Why not?
Well, it's probably in public or whatever.
I mean, is it illegal to have sex in a car?
Yeah.
Because you're in public?
Yeah.
What if it's in your garage?
Well, of course it's legal then, because it's still your property.
But then just go inside. I don't want to have sex in the car just to have sex in a car.
Some people do.
It's convenience.
Some people do.
Sloppy.
Listen to Young Poundcake. You might just want a sloppy.
Speaking of people who have experience in cars.
Yeah, in their driveway, on your property. So, yeah.
Self-driving cars, obviously, are going to change the way that we travel, and they're going to change the way that we work. Some people go, I would love this. I'll be in the back seat. I'll be reading a book.
Taking a nap.
Eating meals.
There are other people who say, I like driving my car.
No.
Who?
If I never had to
I
drive
like
again,
driving my car.
I'd be okay.
I would be very nervous. I feel
What
like...
car do you have?
I have a Ford Fusion from Ganley, Bill.
Oh.
Nevertheless, I feel like the learning curve on these would be so long that it's not like they go, self-driving cars are here,
Well,
and they're all awesome.
It'd have to be like...
A trial period?
Yes,
Right.
exactly.
Like, I'm not going to get...
Who's going to be the guinea pig?
That's what I'm saying. A lot of people are, because a lot of people love being first adopters. So there's going to be people lining up for the first self-driving cars.
I don't need to die.
They're going to be cost prohibitive for a while, so only rich people will afford them. The rest of us losers are going to be driving our cars, right?
Like idiots. Well, ride sharing is going to be the first ones using the self-driving car.
Like Ubers,
Right.
which is going to be
Ubers
great.
and
So
stuff
they can
like that.
potentially kill a bunch of people at one time rather than just a person in their car.
Overpopulated.
Or the kids, because...
It is true. I wasn't complaining, merely observing.
But think, though, if these cars could moderate themselves better than we can kind of police ourselves
Like
when it comes to
drunk
driving, a lot less accidents maybe.
Well, and when they test these things, they say that, but then there are also the flip side of that coin is that some of these
Mechanical
self-driving
errors
cars,
and-
well, like they don't know a person's in the road or something, or they thought a bird was a person. It's just these weird...
Little glitches.
Yeah.
But just think about how convenient it would be to just be like, all right, I'm going to send my daughter to school, her first day of preschool, and you're
By
like...
herself.
Yeah, you just sit her in the back
Later.
seat with an iPad, like, all right, and the car will text you when you drop the kid off. Like, that'd be pretty legit. You're at work, and you're like, all right, Mandy made it to school on time. Her car told me so.
I'm just pissed we don't have flying cars. I was promised that by the year 2020. I don't think it's going to happen.
Somebody's making a flying car. Some major automaker, I thought, was working on it.
Automaker?
Somebody's creating a flying car in 2019.
I feel like the government would shut that down because they make too much money off the airline.
We'd have to register your car with the FAA.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how that works.
And you have to be a pilot. We have people that want to text and drive. We don't need people wanting to text and fly.
Although it'd be a lot less traffic.
They'd be in the skies, just crashing into each other.
Imagine if you got into a car crash and the other car came from the sky. I was just driving along and then a car came out of the
fell out of nowhere.
Fell out of nowhere. But I was like reading about what other industries you might not necessarily think about would be disrupted. And so they said, well, autonomous vehicles are going to disrupt. They're going to become competition for hotels and restaurants because people are going to be sleeping in their cars, which a lot of people already do. I don't think the hotel industry counts that as competition for them.
A lot of people sleeping in restaurants?
No.
People can eat on
roadside,
on the go.
on the go. People can, like Erica said.
Yeah, you just eat in your car.
You have a little table behind
I'd be
the
eating,
driver's seat.
I'd be eating on my way home from work.
But wouldn't you rather eat at home?
No.
You'd eat as soon as you got in your car.
Yeah, because I'm hungry.
You can't wait 20 minutes to get home?
I could, but if I don't have to, I won't.
Right. I agree.
Wow.
I co-sign.
You get in your car and eat.
Mm-hmm.
So then you get home, and then what do? Your husband goes, I'm going to go eat.
Stay in the car. Nap in the car.
Uh-huh.
Why don't you nap and then eat?
But don't you like eating with your husband?
No.
Huh.
Is that a requirement?
I think a lot of people I like to eat with my wife. Really? Okay.
I don't need that.
They said, besides sleeping, what will other people do in these cars when they don't have to drive? And they said it's not a huge leap that people are going to be having sex in these cars.
And more specifically, masturbating.
Right.
That's gonna be a thing, yeah.
But they're going to be rolling brothels, which means in countries where it's legal, it's going to revolutionize the prostitution industry.
I love how it always comes back to sex. Technology always comes back to sex.
It moves society forward.
Uber for sex.
Yeah. Scroober.
There you go. That's right. Boober, Scroober, whatever you like.
328, November 12th.
That's right. The prostitution industry in Amsterdam alone is an $800 million business.
Wow.
So in places where it's legal, they're really going to want to get the self-driving cars, going here. And
I think in places where it's not legal is where it's going to be more prevalent. Because a girl will be like, hey,
he was just giving me a ride.
Your escort service, whatever that they call it, whatever they're hiding it as, will be just a version of Uber now. So it will be like Scroober, like Eric is talking about, where you get a girl, she picks you up in this self-driving car, and then you drive around town. You're a moving target. So it's harder to find you.
So do you foresee yourself sitting in the back seat like you're being squired around town, or do you sit, because the early iterations...
The trunk with the seats folded down.
It's going to be a very different looking car, too. It's going to be...
long.
It's going to be
not
more
have
like,
as much stuff in there.
Yeah, it's going to look more like those vans that we take to different events. So it'll be just like a couch, basically.
Okay.
Hey, you ever watch the fake taxi videos on Pornhub? It's
No.
going to look like that.
Yeah, fake
Bang
taxi.
bus?
Yeah.
I mean, what?
Yeah, Bang Bus. There you go.
Mine's Bait Bus.
Bait
Bus.
They're baiting straight men.
BATE or BAIT?
BAIT.
Oh, those are two.
You're talking about when they do the switcheroo?
Yeah, it's just like, hey, baby. And then she's like, oh, yeah, you're hot. Let me hop in this bus.
She only wants to do anything with you with a blindfold on.
Yeah, just put these blindfolds on. She's really shy, man. She just showed me her boobs. Yeah, she's really shy.
She's really shy.
And then the cameraman
There's a camera. She's really shy. And she showed her boobs, and there's a cameraman. Super shy. She's so shy.
You're not going to film me, are you? No. This is,
of course not.
No.
This is just for her.
My favorite part is he takes that blindfold off. Oh,
Hey, man.
what the hell? There's a dude servicing me. And then he goes, well, I mean, you might as well finish.
I'm already here.
Yeah.
Oh,
I guess we're here.
Oh, they swap the girl
Yeah,
off
it's
with
the
a
bait
guy?
bus is like where they switch from a girl, they put a blindfold on him, and it ends up being a guy that's servicing him.
I see.
And his
They're
reaction
baiting you.
oh, what the? But then he's like, well, I mean, you're there. And I'm
My
already
question-
halfway along.
Why is Erica so familiar?
Yeah, how do you know?
Oh, God, because my stupid friends, they think it's funny to share these videos with each other. So.
Sure. your
My friends really think it's funny.
Yeah.
What's so funny about it?
I'm sorry, this is my Erica time at home on Friday nights.
It could
this
be.
is what I do.
It could be.
Watch the bait bus?
No.
Because I've never shared that with you. So it's just,
I
know
didn't
so
know
much about
something
it.
exists without, like...
But you know in depth of like what.
Yeah, I see the videos.
Okay. I would like to know what friends share this with.
But that's funny? Like if somebody sends you go, oh, he thinks it's a girl. It's a guy and now he's gay. That is hilarious.
And then at the end,
Mostly it's like the acting, because the guy's like, what
dude,
the...
what the? Yeah.
Well, right. They're all actors. Anyway.
Yeah, right.
Actually, there was one guy that did go to jail because he was pretending to. He put a Craigslist ad out pretending to be a girl, and he would put like blinding goggles on him, and then he would have like a girl voice, and then I guess one guy
blinding goggles. What? They have bleach in them?
No, they're blacked out goggles.
They kick him out of the car and they're legally blind. Ah!
No, they were blacked out goggles.
We got you. It was really a guy, and he's just naked on the roadside, can't see because he's
Blind date.
Yeah,
the show.
they've thrown chemicals in his face. Ha 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 ha! You got bait bust, bro. Whatever.
The best part is when they kick him out of the bus, they're like, "All right, thanks, bro," and then they just push him out in their box. He's like, "Hey, man, what the?"
Thanks, bro.
Well, that's stolen from Bang Bus.
Okay, but in this video, what prompts him to pull up the blindfold?
The director?
Yeah.
Does take off the blindfold?
I don't know, but I'm just
No,
guessing.
I think he's just like...
They're just like, all right, I just want to see what's going on.
Yeah, he's like, oh, I'm really into this. You know, and then he
They're
takes it off.
purporting this to be found footage. Or
like, I want to see you, while you're
that's
doing
what it is?
that. And then he
Okay.
takes it off.
Whoa!
Yeah, it's
a dude!
That's why I remember it, because it's so overly dramatic. But then it was like, he's so upset about it. But then he's like, but I mean, you're there, so
You're not
keep
any
going
less
at
gay.
it, guy.
In real life, he'd probably like stab the guy in the head with a screwdriver or something. Yeah.
On the 4th season of Arrested Development, the awful one that came out like 6 years ago or something, they parodied this porn.
Oh, they did?
Yeah,
That's funny.
Like someone was
with Tobias.
I think it was Tobias, but he kept missing the signals or whatever. It was like one of the few funny parts.
I don't think I ever watched that last new season.
I didn't finish it. I haven't.
Yeah.
I started it.
I haven't even started. I finally finished Ozark, and I want to start House of Cards, but people keep saying it stinks.
You know who did finish? The bait bus guy.
Wait, you said you weren't going to tell anyone.
Yeah, I love those ones, and I love like the unglory holes where it's just
right. I don't need to go down that particular hole with you. All right. What's the All right, I'll bite. Let me give away this $1,000 here first, and then
Your shot at $1,000. Now, text the nationwide keyword bank to 200-200. You'll get a text confirming entry plus iHeartRadio info.
Standard data and message rates apply in this nationwide contest.
That's bank to 200-200. Good luck from WMMS.
So the autonomous vehicles are going to mean that these productions won't have to hire a driver.
Right.
To zip around.
Exactly.
Man, what is unglory hole?
Same scenario. It's just like.
Well, what's the un part?
It's a girl, then it's a guy.
Yeah,
but it's still a glory hole no matter who's on the other side.
Yes, but the guy's thinking it's a girl, and the girl peeks her head through like, "Hey, baby, why don't you slide it on through?" And then.
But it's still it's the hole, not what's on the other side.
Yes, but it's under
just
false
branding.
pretenses.
Yeah.
But they're duped.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
It's messed
Call
up.
it something else. It's still a glory hole. You're not negating the hole. You know what I'm saying?
Negating the Hole is an awesome metal band that's playing this weekend at the
That's a
Agora.
Coheed B-side.
Glory Hal.
Glory Hal. Right. All right. Were you praying for Gaga when she said she had to flee her home because of the wildfires?
I figured the celebrities will be fine. Like, I saw Kim Kardashian make a post. She was just like...
Yeah, but it would still suck to have your house burned down.
Does suck.
I mean...
It does suck, and yeah, it's very
lose all your
and
stuff.
a lot of those people weren't able to go back in and get their stuff from their houses.
It's like Robin Thicke's house burned down.
Yeah, I saw
Gerard
that.
Butler's house burned down.
Kim Kardashian was like, I only had 1 hour to pack up all my stuff and then get back to my private jet.
Only
and
an
fly.
hour.
She said, I had 1 hour to pack up all my things and get back on the plane.
I mean, they're breathing rarefied air, but I mean, there's other people who, you know, think
but
about...
still, a loss is a loss.
It's unfortunate.
You think about
know.
Neil Young. I mean, he's been around for a long time. I don't know how wealthy of a man Neil Young is. He's probably got some money.
Yeah.
Can you afford to lose your $5 million house? I mean, you know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's insurance for that. So.
Right, but do they pay you $5 million for your house?
They pay what your house is worth. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I don't know how that works
And
exactly.
when everybody's making a claim, they're going to be real stingy about it.
Of course. And do you build it over, like, the old house? Where do you
rise from the ashes?
Yeah, where do you build the new house?
That's what I'm saying. This is a opportune time for us to try and recruit some celebrities here because it's cold, but it's cheap, and there aren't no fires.
That's right.
Someone needs to make a Phoenix sports team immediately in California. You know, Phoenix rises from the ashes.
Oh, I was going to say, they have teams in Phoenix. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, no, the Phoenix.
I see. The Los Angeles Phoenix.
Yep.
I think I already have enough teams that nobody cares about there.
That's true.
Yeah.
Very true.
I think they'll probably just give them the money and then they move elsewhere, like into the
night?
middle of the state of California, not on the coastline where
No,
all the
a lot
fires
of those
are.
people though, like they
And
gotta live near LA.
But it doesn't matter where you are now. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
Northern Cal. It's not just. I don't think anybody thought there'd be a fire in Malibu.
Why would they not think that? They have. I mean, if you're not having mudslides, earthquakes, or fires, you're going to get one of the three.
No.
So I would think something's going to happen. Something's going to get you.
I think we're there now. Whatever climate change is accelerating, you know.
I just figure something's going to get you. Like you pay the price for having all that beautiful weather year round. Like you live on a hill. You're overlooking the beach. It's summer pretty much all year round. I would think something's going to get you.
They've already paid the price. They've paid millions of dollars for property.
You could pay millions of dollars for property anywhere, really.
You get a lot more property too.
There was a CNN weatherman who was getting all pissed because the president, of course, was tweeting that it was the state's fault.
Right.
And the weatherman's
They're
like,
mishandling funds for the forests.
That's owned by the federal
Never mind,
government.
he's the guy that cut federal funds. But nevertheless, they go to this meteorologist. He's like, no, here's... I'm not a political guy because I'm a goddamn weatherman, but, you know.
Firefighters, fact-check President Trump's tweet for us.
Okay. You know, I enjoy being in the weather department because it's neutral, you know, with the exception of climate change issues. But,
staying out of the political arena, this is wrong on so many levels. They're right. This has nothing to do with forest management. I mean, look, we're not looking at dense forest here, especially down in Malibu. But forest management has nothing to do with mountain winds coming down the passes at 70 miles.
Right, that's why they don't think there's fires in Malibu, because they're not near forests there. You know, the stuff that usually carries the fires.
Yeah.
So it's the winds that
and it's windy areas.
Yeah, Santa Ana winds and all that.
Per hour, or humidity levels in 1 hour, dropping Thursday from 35% down.
Mind you, that fire started Thursday.
Right.
And by Saturday, so oh my, like 80 acres a minute or something.
Single digits, drier than most deserts. But again, if you think about it, to say remedy now or we'll take your funds, he's already taken some of their funds. But I read a tweet that followed that one that makes good sense. It said, it's like taking funds from the National Hurricane Center until you stop all these hurricanes. I mean, it's the same notion. But more importantly, people died in their homes. They found bodies outside the homes, in their vehicles, trying to flee, outside their vehicles, just trying to run away. We've got a problem here because even though the winds may lighten tomorrow for the northern area and the campfire, they're going to remain strong to the south.
Anyway, the president has even made the weathermen angry. He has divided the weathermen.
You don't want to piss off Tanchek.
No.
He'll go ham on you.
Well, who's doing the raping?
Or he'll pretend like you don't exist.
Exactly.
God bless the United States.
Silent treatment, yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know.
Really sad to see that happen.
Yeah.
It's terrifying. Like we were talking about the videos earlier. It looks like the end of days. It looks like, what's the movie that you like?
2012?
No. The funny one that it's like the.
This is the end.
This is the end. It
yes.
does look
That's
like
what
this
it
is the
looks
end.
like.
Yeah.
Really scary.
They think that back to the autonomous vehicles and people banging in their cars. The guy says obviously they're going to be capitalizing on people's interest in that, but he goes, we're still looking at the 2040s for this thing to really be in the,
Now,
so
50.
I'll be very old by then.
Will they be able to get the sex robots to work in the self-driving cars? So we can have the moving brothel with the sex robots?
You could probably, at that point, they'll probably sell cars with like a factory-grade plug-in sex robot. Now you go, do you want the detailing? Do you want the mud flaps? What do you want? You want the chrome trim? You go,
gotta get that undercoat.
Give me the sex robot. Yeah. Get the undercarriage wash with that sex robot. It'll come with all the same things. It'll come with the chrome trim, and all that stuff, if you're into that. Autonomous vehicles.
I like the sound of that.
But just driving down, because there will be people, I'm sure they'll be considered Luddites by then. They'll be like, look at that guy driving his car.
Yeah. What
idiot.
a plebe.
What a plebe. And somebody next to you in traffic will be like banging in their car.
But that would just change the way that...
Darken the windows. The windows will just get foggy.
Tinted,
and you can't... Yeah.
Like, if that's the case, if I don't have to drive on a road trip, I'd much rather, take the car rather than fly on a plane, just because I don't like all the rigmarole of like getting into the airport and like all that stuff. If I can just sleep and eat and get a casual sloppy on the way down to like a Florida or something.
Casual.
That would
Casual
be great.
sloppy.
I can't do that on a plane.
It's a brave new world. You haven't tried hard enough. There are plenty of casual sloppies available on planes.
I never had any.
Might not be from the people you want them from. You might fall asleep and wake up and it's somebody's service animal. And they go, hey, bait plane. We got you.
You're here. I might as well finish.
Oh, it's a muskrat.
Bait plane.
All right. If all goes well, we'll talk to Craig Ferguson around 4 o'clock on the phone. He's going to be talking about, he's got a new book coming out, actually. And he'll be in town a week from this Thursday to do the Hobo Fabulous tour at the Agora. 35192 if you want to text, or AlanCoxShow.com for all the other stuff.
The Alan Cox Show on 100.7 WMMS. And everywhere you go on our free iHeartRadio app.
Are they weed infused by chance?
I don't think so. I think he stayed away from that. He probably figured that's a pretty crowded field right now.
Yeah.
So like you said, he's Martha Stewart's guy.
Yeah.
And it's out there. And it's got a lot of recipes for Thanksgiving. So for those of you who are not catering your Thanksgiving, like Erica and I will be doing, if you're going to be cooking on your own, there are probably some great recipes in the Snoop cookbook. I wish they had sent me a copy of this.
Can't wait to try his cranberry rizzle sauce. It's going to be good.
Suited and booted loaded nachos, that's in there.
Oh, nice.
Who would think nachos for Thanksgiving? He is. Are they turkey nachos? I don't know. Don't know.
What else he got on there?
He's got tacos that he makes.
What kind of Thanksgiving is this?
Again, they're not all for Thanksgiving, but I mean, they're pushing this obviously because
for Thanksgiving
is an eating holiday, and they're trying to, he said to make his gravy, he always keeps OJ in the fridge.
Orange juice for gravy?
The drink, not the killer. And he said, Martha Stewart makes a lot of recipes with lemon, and I like oranges. And ooh-wee, does it work for turkey, he says. So there you go. See, Snoop is a guy who used to hand out turkeys in the hood for Thanksgiving. Yeah.
But I don't think people come to Snoop for recipe advice. They want to know like weed infused stuff. Like, what are your chronic recipes?
But now he's with Martha Stewart. He has more of a mass appeal than he had before.
And that's a very crowded field. There are 1,000 weed-infused cookbooks.
But it's more credible coming from the weed king himself, Snoop Dogg.
But everybody knows that. I bet he feels like the weed thing, at least promotionally, might be a little played out.
He should have just made all munchies. Just all like crap you can put together in 5 minutes at your house when you're high.
That's right.
Things you can grab out of the cabinet. Like Reddit has that subreddit. It's like shrimpy food porn. You ever see that subreddit?
No, I haven't.
It's just people like making like quote unquote gourmet foods with great presentation, but it's like crap they found in their fridge. It's like, hot dogs with a ketchup reduction and,
Sounds good.
Yeah, I don't know. If you're ever bored, it's a funny thread to go through on Reddit.
Speaking of Inglewood, by the way, you'll find the forum right there in Inglewood. Mere steps from where Snoop used to have people lined up for hours because he was giving out Thanksgiving birds. But it's where also we're having our Alter Ego Festival in January.
That's right.
And I will have a chance for you to win a trip at 5 o'clock.
Big lineup this year.
Big lineup. Oh, my God. Muse. Great.
One of my favorite bands I've ever seen live.
Muse?
Yep. At the iHeartRadio Music Festival a few years ago.
I liked them when they were called Queen, too.
No, they're nothing like Queen.
Pardon me?
They're nothing like Queen. They're way more like electronic.
They are electronic, but they are very much like Queen.
I don't see that at all.
21 Pilots, The Killers, who were at the Rock Hall inductions this year. They paid tribute to Tom Petty. Weezer, who are getting to be the iHeartMedia house band.
Probably do Africa.
You think?
Yeah. It's their runaway hit?
Yeah.
No.
Rise Against from Chicago, Illinois.
Love Rise Against.
Bishop Briggs and the Revivalists. So there are only, unlike our $1,000 bribe, which is also a few minutes away here, only 2 chances every day for you to get to the Alter Ego because it's sold out. So 9 and 5.
Is Bishop Briggs the Like a River song?
Don't know. I hear
river.
I hear a lot about her. I don't know that I've heard her.
I think that's her song.
Okay.
It's a good song, if that's who I'm thinking of.
She's getting a lot of heat. People like her.
She's got kind of like she can lean pop, but her voice has like a good
rock quality
rasp to it. Yeah.
I wish K-Flay was getting some more cave play. I like K-Flay a lot,
I
and
like
she
K-Flay.
kind of was there for a minute, and then. So anyway, 9 in the morning with Rover, 5 o'clock with me. Your 2 chances every day to get to Alter Ego. It's January 19th at the Forum in Los Angeles. Let me find you some Bishop Briggs. You probably play it on Alt 99, don't you?
Probably.
River is the song?
Yeah, I think I love this song.
I've heard this.
Yeah, it's a good song. It's got some soul to it.
I've probably heard it in a commercial.
What's it about?
I don't know.
Good voice,
though. Yeah.
Yeah. Towards the end, she like goes ham on that chorus.
She's 26 and British. Her name is Sarah Grace McLaughlin. She goes by Bishop Briggs.
Speaking about heat and great voices, Demi Lovato's out of rehab.
Oh, she voted.
I saw her on Instagram.
I told Alan that she was at the polls.
I was like, ah!
His eyes lit up like it was Christmas morning.
Hey, Demi Lovato will be at the Christmas party. See you there.
By the way, I've been informed by management that if I agree to come to this year's Christmas party, they will disinvite Cody. So I am weighing that.
Okay, so I'll go to my friend's house.
I don't want to throw anybody under the bus. I certainly don't want to. It is a zero-sum game, though.
I don't want to go anywhere where I'm not wanted.
I understand.
Oh.
No, that's fine. It's cool. Uninvite me.
I would never have you uninvited.
I'm uninvited to the
Disinvited.
website, uninvited to the Christmas party.
Uninvited to the website.
You got a column coming. What are you talking about?
They don't know. They don't have my picture next
You
to the
were
column.
never. You were
What
never
did I tell you about
invited
the
to
pictures?
website.
What did I tell you about the pictures? You get them to pay for new pictures, you can be in them, buddy.
That's what we need to ask for. Is new pictures.
Yeah, pictures.
Should we wait a little longer since you're Nutrimosting?
Yeah. Yeah, let's give it another.
When Bill feels ready.
Skinny Bill.
Yeah, give it probably like January or February. I should be good.
We waited this long.
We'll
We
start
waited.
the new year with new photos.
All right. It's a cool song.
Yeah, it is a cool
Like
song.
Blood in the Cut a lot.
It's kind of sexy.
Boom, boom, boom.
Sexy.
It's a sexy song.
It is. All right. Poundcake's calling my mom, so we'll see. We'll see if my mom wants to. I wish I was privy to this conversation.
Yeah, what does this
Hi,
sound
Mrs.
like?
Cox. It's Poundcake from your son's show.
Hey, Bonnie.
Turn his mic on. See.
His mic is on. He turns himself down when he's on the phone. That's all right.
He's sitting there going, like
Alan,
waiting.
is there a Snoop Dogg recipe?
Yeah, that's good.
That's a good
real
idea. That's right.
Snoop Dogg.
Alan, leave Muse alone, you son of a motherless whore.
You didn't say anything bad about
I
him.
like Muse a
Yeah.
lot. I'm saying that they borrowed a lot of the bombast from Queen.
I like him.
Of WMMS Buzzard Radio, an iHeart radio station. Ask Alexa to play WMMS on iHeart Radio.
Now back to the Alan Cox Show.
(216-578-1007) to join us, or 800-348-1007, 35192. Send me a text, AlanCoxShow.com. There's a lot of exclusive video there for you. Poundcake's new column is there. The Christie's Instagram hotties, the clip of Pete Davidson apologizing to the injured veteran on Saturday Night Live, this guy who ended up winning his congressional race. Dan Crenshaw went on SNL, and Pete
really
Davidson.
sweet.
It was funny.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good message overall.
I mean this from the bottom of my heart. It was a poor choice of words. The man is a war hero, and he deserves all the respect in the world, and I'm sorry.
Thank you, Pete. I appreciate you saying that.
So we good?
We're good. Apology accepted.
Just keep breathing.
It sounds like my phone's ringing.
You gonna answer that?
No, and I was just going to let it ring because that's rude to answer it. Let's just let it go to voicemail.
No, it's cool. Ariana Grande's love. Cool, man. Yeah.
Oh, do you know her?
All right, so that's funny. All right. So last week, I made a joke about a picture of you, and I feel like it would only be fair if you got me back and made fun of a picture of me. Does that sound okay?
I don't really need to do that.
No, come on. I deserve it.
All right, I'll do one.
Please? All right.
And now, first impressions with Lieutenant Commander Dan Crenshaw.
Thanks, Colin. This is Pete Davidson. He looks like if the meth from Breaking Bad was a person.
Not bad. So there, we're even. All right.
Hold on, well, one more. This is.
All right.
He looks like a troll doll with a tapeworm.
Yeah, man. All right, that's good. We should wrap this up.
Oh, hold on. No, this is fun. This is fun.
Cool.
He looks like Martin Short in the Santa Claus 3. By the way, one of these people was actually good on SNL.
Hi-oh.
Hey,
Yeah,
got
so
him.
the whole thing. It was actually Liev Schreiber was the host, and he was great. The sketches were funny. Lil
I liked
Wayne
the
was
House
good.
Hunters sketch.
Yeah, it was. There were a lot of what felt like old school, goofy SNL sketches,
I like
rather
when they
than
do that.
something that they had redone over and over again. It was the best episode of SNL I've seen in a long, long time.
I really like the brothers sketch. Where they're
Brothers, yeah,
in
the
the underwear.
Invest Brothers. Oh, that
No,
one, the hose in the
Invest
face.
Brothers one was funny too, but where they're just hosing off and like they're just two brothers that are like supposed to be like 10, like 7 or 9 or something like that, and they're just meeting a couple for the first time, acting the way kids act in that situation, and it just kills me because they're just standing there in their Looney Tunes t-shirts and underwear,
getting the hose from their dad. And Liev Schreiber gives my wife a lady boner, so it was really it was a win-win for all of us. But I don't know what they're going to do with Pete Davidson when he stops giving people stuff to talk about, because he's just kind of.
I do think he's funny though. I think he's funny.
I guess. I mean,
he's just not. He's not SNL funny. Like his desk piece is always like the highlight of what he does, but he's never been in a sketch and been good in a sketch.
No, he'll flub the lines or he'll start laughing.
He's not a good actor when it comes to that stuff. But his desk pieces are really funny.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he and the Crenshaw guy shook hands, and the guy gave a speech on unity or whatever. You know, but he's a big Trump guy, so I mean, you take it with a grain of salt.
I had never heard Liev Schreiber just speak in his own voice. Yeah, apparently, because
you don't watch Ray Donovan.
No,
Great
but I mean,
show.
but I feel like
Great
even
show.
on that show, he speak like with that kind of Jersey accent that he has or whatever.
His character's from Boston, so he's a Boston accent.
Okay,
but there's also about 4 lines of dialogue per episode.
Right.
Yeah.
And that was one of the jokes in his monologue. But he did not sound the way, because I've seen him in tons of stuff, but he always has like a little affect to his voice that's different than what he just sounds like when he's speaking as himself.
Yeah.
And I think that goes to show what a good actor he is.
And I think the fact that he's so dry in all his other stuff is what made him funny on SNL.
Yeah.
Because, low expectations, like he said. Netflix is going to get to the point where you can just change the channel by staring. Netflix, I don't know what the end game is for Netflix, quite frankly. I mean,
if I'm staring, that means I'm watching. I don't want you to change the channel.
I don't know.
That's going to be
Blink
really
twice.
annoying. Yeah, like.
But don't you hate typing in like to find something?
No,
it doesn't
I don't.
take that long.
It's just fine. It's okay.
You can visit genre. You can visit like the series. Like there's a million ways you could find something. You could ask Alexa to do it.
That's true.
And this is primarily for users with disabilities.
Well, that makes sense.
As well as this points out, those simply feeling too tired to move. So it works out for everybody. You will be able to change what you're watching on Netflix by staring at your screen and sticking out your tongue. Provided that this is not a goof, this is what they're working on.
This is really going to mess up Netflix and chill.
Yeah.
Right?
Why are you sticking out your tongue? Because I want to change this show.
Oh, never mind.
What?
They have Jeopardy on Netflix now.
Why?
I don't know, but they do.
It's on all the time on regular television.
Yeah, but I don't watch regular television.
Oh, you should.
I don't.
Oh, there's so much bad stuff on regular television.
I don't really watch that. I don't. So I like having Jeopardy on there.
So when you are, let's say you are at home and you don't want to get up, or you can't get up,
Yeah.
you have
You
Netflix
could look
on.
around.
You'll be able to stick out your tongue at your television.
I'd like that.
It's like a Wii.
All right,
It's like a Stephen Hawking type app, I guess.
Erica, stick out your tongue and we'll try and figure out what you're trying to tell us to do as Netflix.
More rom-coms.
Sorry, Erica, there's no bait bus on Netflix.
No, wrong. Real Housewives of Orange County.
Titles associated with Bait Bus when you can't find what you're looking for. Yeah, anyway, that'll be fun.
I watched one of those holiday movies.
One of those Hallmark flicks?
Like one of the Netflix ones. It's called The Holiday Calendar.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
You watched that?
Yeah, did you watch it?
I've seen it on there, but I didn't watch it yet.
You should watch it.
Is it good?
She would probably.
No, it's
like-
terrible,
it's
but
like-
it's up your alley.
But it's like an urban version.
I mean, not really. It just, they use
Because
people of color.
all those Lifetime movies and whatever the holiday ones are all white people. So
Mhm.
they made one with like the hot chick from what's that show? Vampire Diaries.
Is that where she's from? Because she
Yeah.
is very hot.
Yeah, I forget her name.
Yeah. But it was terrible.
Why did you watch it?
I have something in the works.
I'm sorry?
I have something in the works. Yeah, we had the,
Oh, right. Yeah.
So I watched that.
You have something in the works.
The podcast thing, the meeting that we had. I'm going to do things about Netflix movies.
I see.
Because nobody ever talks about the Netflix movies.
The original films.
Right. They always talk about the series. Like Netflix series are like a hit. People talk about those like they become a sensation, but nobody ever really talks about the movies, and so I want to get into that.
Yeah. We mentioned at the top of the show that Stan Lee died at 95 years old. But another guy that died is the guy who was the voice of HAL 9000 in 2001, A Space Odyssey.
I saw that.
The guy's name was Douglas Rain. I don't know what the hell else this guy did. He was 90. He looked very, very feminine as a young man, but he was a Shakespearean actor from Canada. And he was the voice of HAL 9000, which, of course, everyone remembers from 2001, A Space Odyssey.
Open the pod bay doors, Hal.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
What's the problem?
I think you know what the problem is just as well as I do.
Has everybody here seen that movie?
I've never seen it.
I have not.
Never seen it?
No.
Oh.
I tried. Every time I try and watch it, I fall asleep.
It's very slow.
But either way, rip to that guy.
Rip to that guy. They said, hey, stay alive.
I'm afraid I can't do that.
Right.
Oh.
And what? Who?
Oh, too soon.
I'm sorry?
Too soon.
What happened?
What?
Who?
Huh?
What are you talking
90.
about, Hal?
This mission is too important for me to allow you to jeopardize it.
I don't know what you're talking about, Hal.
Hey, don't die.
I'm afraid I can't do that.
Oh.
And I'm afraid that's something I cannot allow to happen.
Oh, well.
How did you get that idea, Hal?
Did.
Dave, although you took very thorough precautions in the pod against my hearing you, I could see your lips move.
All right, Hal. I'll go in through the emergency airlock.
Without your space helmet, Dave, you're going to find that rather difficult.
What a great gig that would be. Hey, man, I mean, if you're going to talk like that, if you just have this monotone, light voice, why audition some Shakespearean actor? Why get a guy from Canada who's out there doing Othello? They're like, we need a guy who's super monotone. We need somebody you know what I mean?
That they think would be a robot.
A robot.
Yeah.
Why do you have to get a Shakespearean guy from Nova Scotia?
That's who they wanted.
Just get another guy.
Tim could audition.
Yeah.
Hey, guys. I hear the spaceship's gonna crash.
That's pretty good.
Hey, Tim,
Right?
can you open the pod bay doors?
I'm sorry. I cannot do that.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
I cannot allow that to happen either.
They did a 2001 sequel called 2010, which I enjoyed a great deal, with the late great Roy Scheider, the great and still alive John Lithgow, but they never did another sequel.
I'm afraid I can't do that.
Now this guy's dead. So while we're mourning Stan Lee, while we're mourning the Hal from Space Odyssey, we're celebrating the life of Craig Ferguson, I like to think. Right, Craig?
I'm sorry. I can't do that.
Now, that's what they need. They need a guy from Scotland to do the voice, right? I like it.
I think it'd be pretty good. I think a Scottish accent would be quite scary in a situation like that.
Do you, though? Do you think there's a situation I'm trying to cast my mind back to horror movie characters who were Scottish.
No, there haven't. I don't know if there have been any.
That's what I'm saying.
Fat bastard?
There must be.
He wasn't scary.
Yeah, okay, fat bastard.
I mean, it depends on what you find frightening.
Getting my belly is quite scary. Getting my belly.
It is.
If you said it the right way, it'd be quite scary.
Hey, are you aware? Craig Ferguson, by the way, is on the Hobo Fabulous Tour, and he will be here on the 29th for a big show at the Agora. Are you aware that you're a flirting god on YouTube?
No, what's that?
So there's a guy who has this account, and he is essentially Craig used to do this bit called what was it, the Jay Leno fly on the old Late Late Show?
Yeah,
he did the Jay Leno fly. Well, there's a guy who calls himself Jay Leno fly on YouTube, and he's basically created supercuts of you interviewing these nubile young starlets, and you're so smooth with them that people who subscribe to this guy's channel are using these supercuts as almost a tutorial on how to talk to the ladies.
Oh, I think that's probably a very bad idea.
You have to say
that's a very
that,
bad idea. You understand that's kind of like, that's really, because it's pretend. You know that
Right.
talking on TV is pretend. No, that would be a bad idea.
But I wonder if
the internet, it does provide us with a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I wonder though if these guys are, because you did have a very specific kind of body language when you would talk. You would kind of lean back, and people who study that kind of thing say that forces the other person to lean in, which whether or not it was by design, these guys are reading a lot into that stuff. They're taking notes.
Yeah, I think it's. Well, I don't think I'm the guy to help you, really. I think that's probably a very, very bad idea. They should probably try and talk to a professional.
Okay.
But going to the internet for, advice on how to talk to other people doesn't seem to me the right way to go. I think there are other places.
I would agree, but I do like the mental image of a guy taking a young lady on a date, and he just replicates how you talk and act on your show. He's at dinner and he's leaning way back and he's asking her probing questions.
Yeah, she's probably going to leave in the first 30 seconds. That's not going to work at all.
No. And also, your interviews are pretty.
The thing to do is, that's like saying, when you meet someone, make sure you tear up the cards when you start talking to them. It doesn't make any sense unless you're on late night. It doesn't make any sense at all.
Yeah, and that's a 7-minute interview, too. So where do you go after 7 minutes?
Yeah, really. To a commercial break.
Yeah.
Unless you can throw to a commercial break, it's a bad idea.
So are you doing this trek across America? Is this by bus, Craig?
Yeah, mostly by bus. I mean, the occasional airplane thing, but yeah, mostly by bus.
And how have you enjoyed it? How is it?
It's okay. I kind of like it. I wanted to do something that wasn't television or radio. I don't want to do any more television for a long time.
Yeah.
I feel like I did too much of it. I mean, because I went pretty much straight off of the Drew Carey show right into the late night thing. That's like 18 years or something.
Long time.
Yeah, it's a long time. And it was. I think now I wanted to do stuff that. It's funny you were talking about the internet, because I wanted to do stuff that was only for the night I was doing it. So I'm not going to record it. It's not for the internet. It's not for YouTube. It's just for the night. It's not for my Instagram channel or whatever the hell people are doing now. It's just, we're doing it that night, a live show. So old school.
And the Craig Ferguson is doing the Hobo Fabulous Tour. And I think I might have said earlier that it was next week. It is not, because that's Thanksgiving. It is the 29th of this month, which is a week from next Thursday, at the Agora, and people can get a hold of them for tickets. Is the book out, or is the book coming out?
I have a book coming out next year. I've just finished writing it, so it's not coming. A book's like, you have to wait in line with a book. It's like a movie or an appointment at the DMV. You just wait until your number's called, and then it comes out. So it's done, it's written, but it doesn't come out until next May.
And is this going to be it's called Riding the Elephant, I see. Is this going to be a warts and all Craig Ferguson tome? This is going to be bearing your soul for an adoring public?
Yeah, sure. I mean, when have I not done that? That's
I know.
What I do all the time.
I know.
And it's not like, finally, secrets revealed. It's like, no, I am who I am. I say what I want to say. It's some stories that didn't, that wouldn't work any other way. That's what I thought about the book. That, they're not really stories that would work in stand-up, and they're not really stories that would work on TV. And so they kind of work best just written down, kind of anecdotes like that.
Is there a part of you that's happy that aside from the reasons that you mentioned, but is there also a part of you that's happy that you're not on television every night, because now even guys like Jimmy Fallon have to have a political opinion?
Yeah, I feel like I got out just in time, really. The idea of, because people used to say when after the 2016 election, people would say, "No, don't you wish you were, doing late night now with Trump being president?" I was like, no. You have to talk about it every night. I don't want to have to talk about it. Like, some of my best monologues were like, the Latvian Independence Day monologue and stuff like that. You wouldn't get to do any of that.
Right.
you can't get to muck around like that because everyone's very focused on politics. That's why in this stand-up show I don't talk about it at all. I purposely don't talk about any politics at all in the stand-up in this particular show. I mean, it doesn't mean I've not got any views about it. Of course I do, but the whole idea of the show is to let's take an hour and a half. Let's take a break. I'll still be there after the hour and a half, but we can just we can do this for take a break from it for a while. Which I want to do that too. I'm kind of getting a bit weary of it.
Sure. Listen, lest anybody think that there was not a huge void left when Craig Ferguson left Late Night, you'll notice that not one host has done a bit on Latvian independence ever since. So there are a lot of things not being covered.
Yeah, I think that, it's a sad day that the late night television no longer covers the Latvian independence monologues or it's a shame. And all the sidekicks are not robots, which I feel is a missed opportunity.
It's a bummer, too.
It's sad, but things change.
Listen, next time, and I'm glad that I kind of got you hip to it, just so you're not surprised if you're, walking around doing your thing and some pimply kid comes up to you asking for your autograph, it's going to be because of that whole supercut of you interviewing actresses, just FYI.
Yeah, okay. Well, I think that that's fine. I'm happy to be part of it, I guess.
Yeah.
This is why I don't Google myself anymore.
It's probably a good idea. The best practices says that you probably shouldn't do that.
Yeah. You just get upset. There's always somebody who hates you. It's best to leave it alone. I kind of stopped doing it actually after. But I was about halfway through Late Night, and I got into trouble with the entire country of Australia, who were mad at me for saying their capital city was, I can't remember what I call it, but I was interviewing Guy Pearce, the Australian actor, and we were making fun of Canberra, their capital city. And Australia, the entire country got mad at me. I was like, I can't take this anymore. So I can either stop talking or stop Googling myself. So I just stop Googling myself. That seems to work.
Once an entire nation is upset with you, it might be time to, go inside.
I think so.
As it were.
I think so.
Yeah. Craig Ferguson's on the Hobo Fabulous Tour. He's Craigie Ferg on Twitter. The Instagram is The Craig Ferguson Show. The book is going to be out next year. It's called Riding the Elephant. And he's here in town to play the Agora on the 29th of this month. You can go to agoracleveland.com for all the information. And I appreciate you making the time, Craig.
It's very nice to talk to you. Thanks for all the updates on how I'm doing on the internet. It's fascinating.
Right. Good luck. All right. Thank you, brother. There's Craig Ferguson. Riding the Elephant, like I said, is that book. A memoir of altercations, humiliations, hallucinations, and observations. Because every book now has to have a real long subtitle when you put it out, so people know what it's about.
It is.
That's right. Okay, good. Glad we made it happen finally. I'm going to have Under Oath tickets for you. They're through for a show, I think, at the Agora in a few weeks. They're going to play December 1st, not that far off, at the Agora. So if you want to go see Under Oath and some of their pals, those tickets after the break. Around 4:20, and another shot for you to grab $1,000 in our $1,000 bribe around 4:30.
The Alan Cox Show on 100.7 WMMS. And everywhere you go on our free iHeartRadio.
That if it's out of state. Gilly is a brand new bureau chief in Butler, PA. I do not know if Gilly is a male or a female, but that's not important. Thank you, Gilly. Dan is our bureau chief in Pyeongtaek, South Korea, where he's doing some work for the Army Corps of Engineers. Michael listens in Wapahu, Hawaii. Mike is in Sarasota, Florida. Sonia is in Schenectady, New York. Not to be confused with Schenectady, New York. Which are two separate places. There are two towns in New York called Schenectady. Why that is, I don't know.